of which you paid $2. Then what did it change to?
106.
Did you pay each month your portion of the rent?
No.
You are a man who's clearly learned how to game the system.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Robert Brown is suing his former landlord, Linda Leong, for poor living conditions, retaliation, harassment, and the return of his security deposit.
Order. All rise. It's case number 73 on the calendar in the matter of Brown versus Leong.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Brown, you were a tenant of Miss Leong in her house.
Yes, ma'am.
From when to when?
Late March of 2018 to late May of 2019.
You were living there with whom?
I was living there with my co-parent and caregiver, Iola.
Just a sec. Co-parent and caregiver.
Yes.
What does that mean?
We have children together, and she's my caregiver because I'm disabled.
Okay, so let me go through this. Your co-parent, who is your mate, children do you have together?
3.
How old are they?
3, 2, and 1.
And other than being your caregiver, does your co-parent, does she work outside of the home?
No, ma'am.
How much is she paid by the state to be your caregiver?
Around 300.
300 or what? A year, a month, a day, an hour?
300 a month, ma'am.
And how long have you been disabled?
Since 2002.
What did you do before that?
I was a factory worker.
Other than these 3 children, do you have any other children?
Yes, ma'am. I have 3 other ones.
How old are they?
24, 20, and 11.
So since you've been disabled, you've had 4 children?
Yes.
And how much do you get on disability a month?
$9.15.
Other than the $9.15 a month and the $300 a month that is paid to your co-parent and caregiver, is there any other income that flows into your home?
The mother receives money from the state for the children.
She receives welfare from the state for the children. In what amount?
I say roughly 800.
800 for the 3 children or 800 each for the children?
For the 3 children altogether.
So according to what you've told me, the monthly income for your family, since I assume you do not pay any child support for the 11-year-old since you're disabled, is $2,015 a month. Does that sound right?
Around that, yes, ma'am.
And the house that you were renting from Miss Leong, according to what I've read in the $43 per month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of which you paid $2.
No, ma'am.
How much did you pay?
It started off as $2.
When did it start off as $2?
It started off at $2 at the beginning of the tenancy.
At the beginning in March?
Yes.
And when did it change?
It changed in August.
So March, April, May, June, July, and August, you paid a total of $10 in rent for yourself, your caregiver and co-parent and partner, $10 towards rent.
Yes.
I'm getting all the facts together. Then I'm going to get on to what you're looking for.
Yes.
Just so I set the stage to what you're looking for.
Yes.
Now, in August, how did it change, and what did you have to pay in rent?
It changed because Iola's income changed, and her income reflects on my rental portion.
I thought Iola's income was only taking care of you.
The Section 8 counts the money that she receives from welfare also.
So you're not talking about any of this as earned income. So it's the money from the state for either welfare or what she gets for taking care of you.
Yes.
As your partner, not your wife, because that would be silly for her to be your wife, wouldn't it? All this money would evaporate. Then what did it change to, Mr. Brown?
It changed to 106.
So you had to pay $106 a month, January, February, March, April, and May, 10 months.
So they sent the notice in July, but it started in August, the 106.
September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April.
No, because it changed again.
Oh, it changed to 106 in August?
Yes, ma'am.
And then it changed again to what?
113, and this notice was in January, so then that would be, the change would happen in February.
And then it remained that?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you pay each month your portion of the rent?
No.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Starting when did you stop paying your portion of the rent?
That was in August.
When you got the first increase to 106?
Yes.
Prior to that, had you been paying your $2?
There was a running joke that I was going to give her a money order for $10, and then I did pay it, and then that was ripped up in my face, the receipt.
So the answer is you were not paying, even when it was $2, your portion of the rent when you first moved in. Just, that's a yes or a no. You were not paying
Yes.
your $2.
Oh, I was
That's
waiting
a
for you to
yes.
finish, yes.
I'm glad you waited for me to finish. So let me understand this. For August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, and May, for a period of 10 months, let me finish my sentence. For a period of 10 months, you either did or did not pay your portion of the rent. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
When did you pay?
I was forced to pay by Section 8. I believe that was in March. I paid the arrears of what I owed, which was $842 altogether.
April and May, did you pay?
I tried to pay in April, and it was refused.
I'd like to see that you tried to pay. Did he try to pay you in April?
In April, he was kicked out of Section 8, so he owed the entire rent. He didn't pay it.
Okay, I got it. So what he tried to pay you in April was $113.
Correct. And
Okay.
I could not accept that.
Just a second. Mr. Brown, coming back to you for a moment, sir. Did you attempt to make a payment to her of $113 in
Yes, ma'am.
April?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was your Section 8 housing terminated in April?
It was terminated.
Yeah. Mr. Brown, what you're asking for is a return of security deposit from her.
Amongst other things.
The other things I don't care about. You have to understand something. You're asking for a lot of other things, and you are a man who's clearly learned how to game the system. I know that. I've been in family court, sir, and this place for almost 50 years. I've seen Mr. Browns in various forms, shapes, etc. I know about caregivers. I know about partners. I know about co-parents, but not partner. I know all co-parents, not partners, who made children who were 3, 2, and 1. I know where you got the $1,500 from for the deposit. That's the first thing I want to know. Where did you get it from?
$800 was from my former landlord, from her security deposit that I received back.
And how long did you live there?
I lived there a year.
A year?
14 months. to be
From
exact.
when to when?
From October of 2016.
Oh, so after you went on disability. You were on disability after you had left your job, and you were living with this co-parent, Iola, and you only had one child at that time when you came here? Or did
Yes.
you have no child?
Yes,
you had
ma'am.
one child. That's
well, with,
a yes.
with Iola, yes.
Was she then still your co-parent and caregiver? Or did she become your co-parent and caregiver when you moved here?
She paid my co-parent when I moved here, yes.
Mr. Brown, I refuse to be a co-conspirator with you, sir. When was the last time you earned $1,500? So far, Miss Leung, I know, is out at least 2 months' rent because you were kicked out of Section 8 housing. You offered to pay her your $113 on a $1,600 rental bill. You offered to give her $113, and you didn't move. And then you stayed there another month. So far, she's out 2 months' rent. And in addition to that, you want me to direct her to give you back $1,500 that you didn't earn, that Bird gave you. Good.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've been living under this nightmare for 15 months.
While I was on Section 8, and
It's as if a hammer was hammering on my head for all that time.
the reason I didn't pay is because the premises had mice, roaches, and mold. And in the state of California,
And suddenly the hammer stopped.
if a premises has any of those, then the landlord is not entitled to rent.
He's done it before. He's a professional at this.
She was instrumental in me losing my Section 8 voucher.
He scammed the federal government, the state government, and the local county government.
No, definitely not a squatter.
His job is to scam the system, and he has.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bevan versus Roberts Wright step forward.
Shopping center owners Rachel and Timothy Bevan are suing their former tenant, 23-year-old Kaylee Roberts Wright, for breaking their lease.
Mr. and Mrs. Bevan, you built a little shopping center.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the first time you built something like this?
Yes, Yes, ma'am. ma'am.
Where was it?
It's in a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas.
How long did it take you to build?
We have 1 unit left to complete. We started construction last July.
So it's not yet finished.
No, 4 of the 5 units are finished.
On the inside. On the inside.
Yes.
Do you have a photograph of it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. So the outside shell is complete on the whole thing, but one interior store is not
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
finished. Okay. Now, you rented one of the stores.
Yes, ma'am.
For what kind of business?
It's a clothing store.
Is this your first clothing store?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
23.
For you. What had you done before?
I was a secretary for my grandfather's business.
Anybody help you set this up?
No.
Did it yourself?
Yes.
What was the rent on the space that you rented
It
from the
was
plaintiffs?
$1,000 a month.
For how many square feet?
800.
Okay, now, this is your complaint. Your complaint is that Ms. Wright left, broke her lease, and you're suing her for $5,000. She says that she did, in fact, leave, but you actually constructively broke the lease by not providing sufficient heat, which made it uninhabitable by her, her customers, her son, who I assume she brings to work with her, was how old?
A year old.
And she gave you notice that the heat was insufficient. You failed to rectify it, and that thereby it was a constructive eviction. She has a counterclaim, and the counterclaim is for loss of revenue, although I'm not so sure you can prove that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It's clear to me that you wrote this in afterwards because you gave her a copy and it's not there.
Correct. We did not date it, unfortunately, on the date of the lease.
We signed it on the official lease date, which was misleading.
I'm sorry.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Rachel and Timothy Bevan claim former tenant Kaylee Roberts Wright broke their lease. Kaylee says she had no heat and is countersuing for loss of income.
Okay, can I see a copy of the lease? Thank you. This doesn't have a commence date.
It does on the signature page, we wrote the commencement date, and then it's near the end, about 4 or 5 pages back. We signed the lease previous to the construction being complete, and we did not start the commencement date until the CO was issued by the city.
Official start date, January 7th, 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you signed that?
I did sign it, but I didn't have a commencement date on my copy.
I'd like to see your copy. Well, you signed the lease on 1/7.
I signed the... Sorry.
I'm just saying, when you signed it, you didn't date it?
No, ma'am.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Well, it's clear to me that you wrote this in, one or both of you wrote this in afterwards, the 2 dates, because you gave her a copy and it's not there.
Correct. We did not date it, unfortunately, on the date of the lease.
Well, then you shouldn't give this to me if you say this is the lease. And you gave it to me and you said that we signed it on the official lease date, which was misleading. I'm just letting you know it's misleading.
I'm sorry.
Good. Now, you moved in on what date?
January 7th.
So that was the de facto start date.
Yes, ma'am.
When was the first time that you gave them notice that the heat was defective?
Right before I moved in, I had let them know that there was an issue with the heater.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
This is before the move-in date.
Yes, ma'am. That was
This is
on...
December?
Yes, ma'am.
I could bring in a space heater up there.
Excuse me, Judge?
Okay, so before you moved in, there was clearly a problem with the heating system. That was in December. After you moved in on January 7th, show me when the next time was that you complained to the Bevans about the heat. And by the way, Ms. Wright, when did you move out?
I moved out on March 24th, I believe.
Well, I have a text on February 2nd that says my heater is blowing just cold air again, which suggests that she had told you about this before.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
In February, at the beginning, she was not leaving it on. That was the issue on February 2nd.
I don't know that. You're not a heat expert, so you can't tell me that. On March 11th, the indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system, so I don't know what this email of March 5th was.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Rachel and Timothy Bevan claim former tenant Kaylee Roberts Wright broke their lease. Kaylee says she had no heat and is countersuing for loss of income.
Well, I have a text on February 2nd that says my heater is blowing just cold air again, which suggests that she had told you about this before.
Yes, ma'am.
And you say, okay, we'll get it fixed on Monday. And then on February 16th, she said, I'm not sure what's going on with my heater. It just seems to go in and out. It worked yesterday, but today I can't even get the fan to blow. I've had it on for over 30 minutes and it still hasn't turned on. And then you say, okay, I'll come and check within the next hour. If it still doesn't work, we have a space heater for you to use until we can fix it on Monday. Well, that's what you said on February 2nd. Now we're talking about February 16th.
The space heater, didn't you say that was in December?
Second and then February 16th. So that's so far twice in February. And then again on Tuesday, February 19th, she says, hey, Rachel, were you all able to have someone come out on Monday to check my heater? I was up there last night, and it was doing the same thing as Saturday. That's 3 times in February. Then she wrote in March, did someone come in to check my heater? You wrote back, they were supposed to, but never got a text confirmation. That was in March. So we have so far at least 3 times in February by text, and then we start in March. Okay. Then you answer, Tim says that your unit is off this morning. Your place will not stay comfortable or heat up well, especially when it's so cold out. If you turn your unit off at night, you must keep it on at all times. And she answers you the same day. She said, I've tried leaving it on like he told me to do, but it did not work. The unit is the issue, not me turning it off. You say, okay, I'll be out there. Sounds to me that this heating unit was a problem in December and it never got fixed.
I have receipts showing how it was fixed in December. May I present those?
No.
Okay. In February, at the beginning, she was not leaving it on. That was the issue on February 2nd.
I don't know that. You're not a heat expert, so you can't tell me that. All I know is I have 3 instances in February and 2 in March where she says the heating come. The repairman was supposed to be there. I didn't get a text confirmation.
I have, following that, where I did not receive any confirmation text from them, I said he is on his way. I then have receipts showing he was on his way and replaced the entire unit.
Okay, can I see it?
There's that.
Yes.
And the date that he replaced the entire unit.
So here's an email stating that it was fixed. This is written slightly after. However, I have confirmation from Kaylee also stating that her heating unit was fixed on the day before the invoice is written.
On March 11th, the date of this invoice, the indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system. So I don't know what this email of March 5th was.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
On March 11th, the date of this invoice, the indoor temperature was 63 degrees, and there was clearly something wrong with the system. So I don't know what this email of March 5th was. Clearly, January, February, and up through March 11th, there was a problem with the heating. That's clear, based upon what you just gave me, that it was broken.
Yes. That's why he completely...
Well, then she had a right to move out.
He completely replaced the unit. We have videos showing on days she was closed because of heating.
She has the right to move out. If she doesn't have heat for 2 months, she has the right to move out. And she didn't have heat for 2 months. You just showed me she didn't have heat for 2 months. She complained about it. She had the right to move out. Now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for lost revenue.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you intend to prove that?
I didn't have anything with me to prove it.
Well,
I had to move my stuff into another location.
that's not lost revenue.
I had to sell it at a discounted price, below wholesale.
You may have had to do that anyway, but you had the right to move out because you gave them ample notice that the heating wasn't working for over a 2-month period. So that's, to me, a constructive eviction. Your case is dismissed. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused and they step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
We gave her discounted monthly rent just out of good nature. It was never asked for.
I was trying to work it out with my lawyer to make it sure that I wasn't going to get into any legal trouble.
We gave her a space heater to use. Again, the temperature never read below 68 degrees in the winter, and we felt like that was adequate.
The heater not working, they said that they have it to where it was 69 degrees. It was 59 degrees. I have pictures of it.
Within 3 weeks of her being in the unit, she was already asking to be released from it, to sublet it to someone else. She just wasn't ready. Me
trying to close shop was my son was going to be admitted to the hospital to have a feeding tube, and I wasn't going to be.
Had issues with any of our other 4 tenants, and it's an unfortunate event.
Read your lease, have a lawyer check your lease. Just don't let them run over you.
These 2 people wouldn't be here unless you owe them money.
I don't owe them anything, Your Honor.
A roommate is reminded of his debts.
Jazz gave me $300 for insurance, but that was it.
That's incorrect.
Did you pay your rent every month?
I was short in January.
He only paid in full 1 month.
And they won't let him forget a dime.
He bought a new car right after I helped him.
She says she gave you $200 towards the down payment.
She's lying.
And what about you?
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
20-year-olds Judy Primacio and his girlfriend, Jasmine Vallejos, are suing their ex-roommate and Judy's family friend, Zachary Iona, for unpaid rent, a car loan, stolen identity, and ruined credit.
Order. All rise. It's case number 71 on the calendar, the matter of Vallejos, Primacio versus Yowan. Get it, folks, have a seat, please.
This, sir, is your cousin?
Yes.
First cousin?
No, distant.
How distant?
Actually, Honor, he is just a very close family friend, and we've been raised together. We've grown up together.
Okay, so he's a close family friend.
Yes.
This is your girlfriend?
Yes.
And you are 19?
I'm 20.
And you?
20.
And you?
18.
The three of you rented an apartment together. It was a two-bedroom apartment. You signed the lease.
We all did.
It is your claim that the defendant moved out.
Yes.
Yes.
And he moved out owing you money.
Yes, that's correct.
And he moved out to move into the home of his girlfriend.
No, he moved into his parents' home.
His parents' house with the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is now pregnant.
As far as I understand, yes.
Is that right?
She had a miscarriage.
How much after you moved into your parents' house?
About a month or two afterwards.
Is she still living in your parents' house?
Yes.
You pay your parents rent?
I do.
How much?
I pay $200 for bills.
What about the girlfriend?
She doesn't pay anything.
Why?
She just moved in after she graduated high school.
Well, let me understand this, Mr. Iona. The three of you moved in together, and as far as I can see from the papers of all three of you, you made a reasonable arrangement that they would pay 2/3 of the rent, because they're two people. You would pay 1/3 of the rent. Is that right?
Correct.
And you moved in what month and year?
October of 2018.
And in what month did your girlfriend all but move in?
She
get pregnant in your apartment,
yes.
Not in your parents' apartment, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in what month and year did she all but move into the apartment?
February 2019.
And that became a source of irritation
That's correct,
among you,
yes.
because now the rent should be split in half, because you have two people sharing your room and two people sharing a room.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Did you pay your rent every month?
I did, up until I lost my job in January, or December.
Well, so the answer is no. I didn't pay my rent every month. I had lost my job. So what month didn't you pay?
I was short in January. I was short rent.
Your Honor, he was also short on many other months.
He only paid in full 1 month.
They are wrong, Your Honor.
Just a second. Did you pay them in check or cash?
I always paid cash.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. I have proof.
That he paid in...
He transferred to my bank account. There was only, I think, 1 or 2 months where he paid in cash.
Did you ever transfer money into her bank account?
I did.
So that was also a method. May I see other months?
Yes.
Mr. Iona, were you short other months?
Just January and February.
January and February?
Correct.
How short were you January and February?
Not too short, a couple $100.
Not a couple of hundred. I mean, this is a business.
Yeah.
How much short were you in January and February?
200 in January and 300 in February.
I have the exact.
According to you, that's $500.
Correct.
Then there was a car loan. When was that?
December of 2018.
The same month you lost your job.
Yes, this was all before I lost my job.
How much was the car loan and who made it to you?
The car loan was for $13,000.
No, they. Did either of these two people give you money towards a car?
Jazz gave me $300 for insurance, but that was it.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
Just a second. Jasmine, she gave you $300 for insurance, or she paid the insurance?
She paid the first month of insurance.
And that's also incorrect, Your Honor. Okay. Sorry.
When did you pay them back? So far, from you, I have $800. I would like to see proof of when you paid them back the $800.
I did everything in cash, Your Honor.
So you have no proof?
I have a pay stub from my $900 check in January, and I gave them the money.
Oh, who did you give the $900 to?
I gave $400 of it to Judah and then $100 to Jasmine.
Did he give you $400?
No, Your Honor.
Did he give you $100?
No, everything he gave me was for rent.
Did he give you in February $100?
No.
Towards repayment of any of this? Did he give you $400?
No, Your Honor. But he did give us $100, but we had to use that towards his rent of being short.
So he gave you $100,
Yes.
but it was for what month's rent?
And it was going towards February's rent because he was late.
That's only $100. That doesn't stretch out that far. Did he pay you at all in January?
Yes, he paid us $100 for helping him out with the car, and
How did you help him out with the car?
we gave him money, the
How
$300.
much? Well, the $300 was for insurance.
Yes.
We also gave him $200 for a down payment.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. I have the full down payment in my evidence right here.
Show me. I mean, you're going to say that it was a $200 down payment?
He bought a new car right after I helped him.
Just a second. Are you going to show me that it says that you put down $200?
I put down $510. They didn't pay anything towards the down payment at all.
I don't know that. She says she gave you $200 towards the down payment.
She's lying.
Okay. And what about you? You see, I have a feeling that these two people wouldn't be here unless you owe them money.
I don't owe them anything, Your Honor.
Well, so far, I have, even by your own statement, you owe them money. Because so far you owe them $800, according to your own statement, and you paid them back, according to you, $500. He says you never gave them $400.
I did pay them back.
Just a second. Tell me when.
In January, when I got that check, I gave them the money.
No, I asked you a question. You told me you got the paycheck in January. It was $900. I'll show it to you. And you said I gave him $400 and I gave her $100. That's exactly what you said. Well, 4 and 1 are 5. According to you, you owe them 8. So according to you, you still owe them $300.
They also have my bed at the apartment, which was listed at...
Who cares? What else?
It was a $400 bed. It's still at the apartment.
I don't care.
I gave it to them as part of rent to pay them back. They have it in there.
I don't care. Did you also continue to pay your car insurance out of her bank account for months?
No, I did not.
You did not?
I did not. She even got a refund from that $300 from Allstate.
That's not what I asked you, whether they gave her back the money. What I asked you was your car insurance, without her permission, continued to be paid out of the same bank account where she paid it the first time?
No, it wasn't.
No?
That is incorrect, Your Honor.
Show me.
Okay, I have it.
It's so easy to prove. Why would you say not? It's so easy for her to show that the money came out every month for the car insurance for, say, 2 months or 3 months. She may have gotten reimbursed because she complained about it when she saw it, but that doesn't mean it wasn't taken out. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was it taken out?
Yes.
So why can't you just say that? It was taken out. You didn't pay it.
I didn't.
You didn't pay it when it was due. It was taken out of her account.
That wasn't to either of our knowledge. She paid it the first month. That was all that was supposed to be paid. It's her fault for not stopping the subscription, and I told them also that...
Your Honor.
I do.
You're supposed to pay the insurance every month?
Yes.
That's what it said on the loan. On the loan, it says you have to pay the insurance every month, right?
Yes.
So you have to write out a check, or it has to come out of your bank account. Do you have a bank account?
Yes.
Because you write checks. You would have to write a check or get a money order to pay for the car. So you know whether or not you paid car insurance for, say, the month of February. If you didn't pay it for February, you either were in breach of your contract with the loan company or somebody else paid it because they didn't cancel your insurance, right?
They did. The insurance got canceled in February. That's why there's no way that they would have kept paying the insurance.
So what you're telling me is after the 1 month of $300 where she did pay that you owe her for, money never came out of her account again for your insurance?
Correct.
Only that one time?
Yeah.
I'm not reading all of this. All I want to see from you is someplace circled where the insurance came out more than the 1 month that you acknowledge that you loaned him the money for insurance. Make a circle on the bank statement.
Okay. So this is where it was refunded.
Just make 2 circles wherever the money came out.
That's right here. There's the refund and where it came out on that.
$2 months to Allstate. Is that who insures? What happened in January?
I called them and filed identity theft because that was the only way I could get my money back. He doesn't even still have the same car.
You got your money back?
Yeah, the company worked with me, but I still didn't get it back for the down payment.
You have a check for the down payment?
I have another bank statement. And I have showing that he paid $200. Verbally, he said he'd pay $100. Oh, okay.
Shh.
Okay.
What month did you buy your car?
In December, ma'am.
This is January 30th that it was posted. The transaction was January 29th.
Yeah, it was pending.
I don't know if it was pending or not. It said the date it was posted and the date of transaction. The date of the transaction was January 29th.
Yes.
The day it was posted. He bought his car. Let me see when you bought your car. Did you get another roommate, by the way?
His brothers moved in with us.
Good. Is he paying rent?
Our parents are covering his rent.
I don't know what this is. Okay, so far, it is your statement that your cousin friend did not give you $400.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, but did give you $100 towards the rent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $700. We're finished. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I did. I spoke up about it, but...
They didn't like certain friends that I had over, and they wanted to kick him out.
He didn't care, she didn't care. I mean, in the long run, lesson learned.
Seems hit a really steep bump.
I can't even say how much I feel.
I hope to continue trying to talk to them after this.
How angry I am.
Yeah, only time will tell.
You can't always trust family now.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Owens versus Reed. Step forward.
Gwendolyn Owens is suing Doretha Reed for the cost to repair her car after Doretha's son crashed his bike into it.
All right, Miss Owens, what is your claim that the defendant's son, who was riding a bike, crashed into your car?
Yes.
Causing damage. And you were taking your son to school.
My grandson.
Your grandson to school. Was the defendant's son on his bicycle going in the same direction that you were?
Yes.
Going to school?
I assume yes.
So he was traveling correctly. He was going with the flow of traffic.
Yes.
And according to what I read here, cars were sort of going around him.
Correct.
Because he was on a bicycle.
Yes.
And the car in front of you went around him successfully.
Yes.
And you went to go around him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you went back in and you heard something hit your car.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Judy continues in a moment.
He was turning. He wasn't going straight. He was trying to turn around. That's how he hit my passenger's back door. Because it's in the police report where he tried to turn around. I guess he was going back in the other direction.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Gwendolyn Owens says 13-year-old Donovan Jemison crashed his bike into her car while she was in the process of passing him on the road.
Now, the car in front of you went around him successfully.
Yes.
And you went to go around him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you went back in and you heard something hit your car.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
And?
I heard something hit my car. My granddaughter was in the back seat. So I pulled over on the side of the street, and the people behind me stopped. There were two people behind me. I stopped and got out.
Everybody stopped because the bicyclist was on the ground.
Yes. I got out, went to see him, and he walked across the street. The bike was still in the street, and we were concerned about him, so we asked where his parents were. You know, where did he live? He said right across the street. I ran over and knocked on the door to try to get an answer. I didn't get it. We're still there with him. And he tried to call home, and there was still no answer.
Owens, his mother took him to the doctor, correct?
Ma'am.
Just to check him out.
Yes, ma'am.
And fortunately, he was okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you didn't sue her?
No, ma'am.
No, you didn't sue her for hitting your son.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Miss Owens.
Yes.
I've read these papers, and I, quite frankly, it's sort of incredulous to me that you think he's responsible for this accident.
Well, Your Honor, I also have the police report with the witnesses saying that it was his fault.
Just a second. I don't read witnesses' statements from a police report.
Okay.
You told me that you went around him.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And are there cars coming in the other direction? You see where the cars is? Are there cars coming in the other direction?
No, not at that time, no.
No. Is it possible for cars to come in the other direction?
Yes, it's possible, yes.
So it's a two-lane highway?
Yes.
So you had to go over into the other lane in order to pass him?
Yes.
And then you went back?
Yes.
Your problem is to make sure he has enough space.
I did make sure he had enough space.
So
Can I show you?
Yeah, sure, you can show me.
Okay. All right. This is my car here.
I understand where your car is.
All right. I had passed by him, okay? He wasn't going straight. He was trying to turn around. That's how he hit my passenger back door.
He was trying to turn around?
He was trying to turn around, because it's in the police report where he tried to turn around. I guess he was going back in the other direction.
Just a second. Stand up. Tell me your name.
Donovan.
Donovan, were you going to school that day?
Yes.
You were going to school that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Step back. And when you were going to school that day, you go in the same direction as you were going?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do you remember what happened with Mrs. Owens' car?
No.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am.
You just remember being on the ground?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in the car?
Yes.
Stand up.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Gwendolyn Owens says 13-year-old Donovan Jemison crashed his bike into her car while she was in the process of passing him on the road.
Were you trying to turn around for some reason?
No, ma'am.
Do you ever drive your bike to school?
Sometimes.
How often?
Not that often.
Well, prior to this day that this happened, when was the last time you drove your bike to school?
It's been a while, so...
Why were you driving your bike to school that day?
I was in a rush because I was gonna...
Do you remember what happened with Mrs. Owen's car?
No.
You don't remember?
No, ma'am.
You just remember being on the ground?
Yes, ma'am.
Were there other cars going around you?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they successfully go around you?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you in the car?
Yes.
Stand up. Is this young man in your class or in your grade?
Oh, no. I'm about to be a senior.
And he?
Oh, no. I just be seeing him walk to school sometimes when she be dropping me off to school.
Okay. But he was going to school that day? Going in the same direction you were?
Yes.
Okay. You were facing forward, so you didn't see what happened in the rear of you?
Oh, no. But, like, we was going straight. Like, we was going around like all the other cars was, and then he hit the back door. And then that's when she pulled over and stopped to make sure...
Just a second. The back passenger door?
Yes.
Right, which is when you would be going past him. Yeah, Miss Owens, you're lucky Miss Reed didn't sue you, and you're lucky he wasn't injured.
Well, I also have text messages where she said that she would pay for the damages.
Well, if she wants to pay for them, that's fine. If she voluntarily, I would not order her to pay for the damages. You passed a biker. It's your responsibility in a car to make sure you have plenty of clearance with that biker.
I had plenty of clearance.
Clearly not.
He turned to turn around to go in the other direction. The police report also has stated that.
Just a second. That's ridiculous. Direction you were going to drop your grandson off at school, so there would be no reason for him to turn around.
Well, for some reason, he did turn around. Because you can even tell by the pictures the way my car was hit.
I know where your car was hit. Your car was hit on the back passenger side. It collided with him. And if he was injured, his mother would sue you. I don't see any statements of witnesses here.
It's at the bottom, Brian.
Are you talking about this?
Yes.
This narrative? Sorry, that's not a witness's statement. The policeman wasn't there. This is a synopsis of what somebody told a police officer.
Yeah. And that was the witness that witnessed it.
I don't know that.
And that's his name at the bottom.
I don't know that that was the statement of the witness. That's what the police officer's summary is.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
My responsibility is to say, whose fault is it when somebody is on a bike and somebody passes the biker? And I see no logic for this young man trying to turn around when the school was in the same direction you were going in. And it's just as easy for me to assume that you cut in too fast. Well, I don't know that, and he doesn't sue you.
Everybody excuse me, step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Because they hit my car and they were turning around.
Oh, my God, it was very frightening. I thought he was really hurt.
The police knocked on the parents' door trying to get them up to come see about their child.
And I ran downstairs and ran outside to go see if he was okay.
She said that she would make arrangements to pay by May the 20th.
I actually got pushed into saying that she basically bullied me into it.
I'm glad he wasn't hurt, but my car is still damaged.
Share that road.
Where's her dog? Where's her dog?
A pet held hostage.
If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog.
Well, I want to know where her dog is.
Can the owner come to the rescue?
She know exactly where the dog is at.
It's not there. That's a lie. His witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness can't even find the knees for his pants.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
18-year-old Beatrice Barkin is suing her ex-boyfriend and her dog.
Order. All rise. It's case number 80 on the calendar, the matter Barkin versus Wright.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Wright, how old are you?
I'm 32.
Who do you live with?
Currently, I got a little situation going on.
What?
I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota. taking care of some personal problems. So. But I got a house in North Dakota. I live with my wife in North Dakota.
I don't hear a word you said. Currently, you have a situation. Where do you live?
Where do I live? I said I live in North Dakota, but I'm currently in Minnesota taking care of some personal situation.
Where do you work?
I work for MnDOT in Minnesota doing construction.
How many days a week do you work there doing construction?
It depends on what work we got available.
Where's her
sometimes
dog?
I work.
Where's her dog?
Her dog is over North Minneapolis.
Is where?
Is in North Minneapolis.
What's the address? What's the address where the dog is?
Is James Avenue.
You do want to get home, don't you?
That don't matter to me.
You want to stay in Los Angeles?
I mean, you don't even know. You don't know what's going on. So
let me tell you what's going on. What's going on is Miss Barkin says she gave you her dog to train.
That's what she
said.
said.
Now, with your current situation, from wherever you are, dog.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
So I want to know where her dog is.
Her dog is where I just told you is at.
With whom?
To the place that I reside at. That's where it's at for right now. I live in Minneapolis, man. There's a lot of things going on that you...
I don't care about your life.
I don't know how to explain.
I don't want to care about your life. Who's taking care of the dog now?
I don't know how to answer your question. I am still taking care of the dog.
Well, you're not taking care of the dog. You're between two different states. How could you be taking care of the dog? You travel with the dog?
I just told you I'm in Minnesota currently now, but my address, you asked me where do I live. My home is in North Dakota, but I'm on probation. I'm on probation in Minnesota.
I only want to know
where you asked me a question, I will have to explain that question to you.
No, I don't want you to explain.
I don't know what answer you're looking for.
I just want you to tell me where the dog is.
And I just did.
Good. Now, today, as we're standing here, who's watching the dog?
My sister is.
And what's your sister's name?
What's the relevance of all of that?
I want to know what your sister's name is.
I don't want to disclose that information because she don't have nothing to do with this dog party. If she could settle what she owed me, she could have her dog. That person don't have nothing to do with it. This lady have not paid nothing. I got evidence to prove everything she talking about is a lie. I just want to go through the evidence and you can face that. But however, me giving somebody else's name, I'm not going to do that.
Mr. Wright, if you had a counterclaim...
I don't want to counter. I owe her nothing. I don't owe her nothing, period.
Let me explain something to you. You got a dog, probably, and you had no right to get a dog because you didn't know how to take care of it. Do you understand?
Know where the dog to stay. The dog stayed with me from the day she bought the dog and been in my house the whole time.
Shut up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do us both a favor. Just listen, okay? All right.
You probably had no business getting a dog because it doesn't sound to me as if you chose a very, very together person to train your dog. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. He works construction 5 days a week.
That's
what
a lie.
Hey, don't speak to me.
I'm sorry, but...
Don't speak to me.
Okay.
Don't speak to me. He says he works construction 5 days a week. Bird, would you take his phone away from him?
I was going to show you.
Take his phone away from him. Bird.
Yeah, your phone. There you go. Thanks.
You got the dog when?
March 31st.
From the beginning of April to today's date, how many days has the dog been with you?
From March 31st until May 2nd when I gave him the dog was with me in the night. The dog only spent one night with him. The dog spent most of the nights with me, and the dog spent a night with his niece. And he got the dog from his niece's house when I was at work.
Do you know this address that he's talking about?
He's lying about that. And I know their names, and I know their address, and I know where they live. He's lying. He doesn't... I know his sister because why? His brother is my ex-boyfriend, so therefore... His brother...
Just a second. Different program.
Okay.
Right now, I don't know where the dog is. Neither do you. I don't know whether he has it, whether he sold it, whether he did. Something wrong with him. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's a good thing that you didn't do that much bonding with the dog, that it's not a dog that you had for a year or 2 or 3 or 4. I want you to show me a bill of sale from where you bought the dog.
Here you go. Do I bring it, sir?
What made you... This is nothing. What is this?
That's my receipt from the lady I bought it from.
It's not a receipt for anything. It's not signed by anybody.
It is a receipt. I have messages. I bought it from on Facebook.
Good. If you have messages, I'll take a look at Facebook messages.
She purchased the dog.
I purchased the dog. I bought the dog.
Don't speak to her, or I'm sending him back. And he makes you look very short.
I am short. And,
I want to see something that I believe. This is not signed by anybody. You go into a store and you can get a receipt like this. It's a nothing.
Okay, but that's the point. I bought it off a Facebook app. I bought the dog from this lady named Shannon. I had to drive like 2 hours away from Minnesota to go get the dog at 9.
So let me see. You said you had texts from this woman, Shannon, from where you bought the dog. Let me see them. This is nothing. It's zero.
These are text messages of when I still owed her $200, and there's a
May I see?
There's
May
a
I
money
see?
order
May I
right
see?
there.
May I see?
The dog was $350.
Shh. I see 150 sent by MoneyGram.
I sent.
Shh. I see $150 sent by MoneyGram to Shannon. I want you to point out. Yes. Okay. Right here on March 30th. Don't forget the $200 owed on the puppy tomorrow. I won't, trust me. I'm super excited. Got everything for my puppy. Got it. Now I want to see a picture of the puppy. What kind of dog was it?
It's a poodle mixed with a beagle.
Now I'm going to get back to you. He got the dog for did, and if you don't pay him for the dog training, you're not getting the dog back. He doesn't have a counterclaim. That's what the case is about. Now, which sister is taking care?
She's not my biological sister. She's a friend I've been knowing for over 20 years. So.
Well, because she knows your biological sisters. You have two. You have two. Quiet. My mouth is moving. You have two biological sisters. So neither one of your sisters is watching the dog. Who's watching the dog? Listen. Let me explain what it's going to cost you. Do you understand?
I'm listening.
I'm going to explain. You're supposed to get an appearance fee for coming on this show. Do you understand? You either get it or not. Your choice. Who is the dog staying with?
I have the dog over in North Minneapolis at the place.
I can't understand you. You have the dog where?
I just told you the same thing I'm about to repeat, and you keep cutting me off. I said I have the dog over in Minneapolis where she don't try to go in the house and break in the house and take the dog multiple times while I had to hide it while she thought I was at work. She know exactly where the dog is at. The lady that the dog is at, I live in that house in Minneapolis. But I'm not going to give you that lady name. But she know where the dog is at.
Okay. Raise your hand if you tried to go and get the dog.
Both of them.
Raise your hand. Good. Okay, so you know where the dog is?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the dog, you know what the dog is?
It's not there. It's not there.
Because when they went there, I had them get there. I knew already knew they was going to go do it.
That's a lie. And
so
plus,
I had to hide the dog.
Plus, his witness that's sitting down went with us to go get the dog.
His witness. I am going to give you an order that you can bring to a marshal. The marshal will execute that order with you. What we're going to do with the defendant's appearance fee is hold it until you get your dog back. Do you understand? Now, he can go back to Minneapolis. He can go wherever he wants to go. He can do that.
Yes, ma'am.
But he is going without any money. And the only way he's going to get his money is if you get the dog. Do you understand? Perfect. Wait outside for the order. Thank you.
So it's just that simple.
Why is our excuse, Jimmy? Step out.
If she don't get my money, she's not gonna get the dog. She didn't get my money, so she's not getting the dog.
I needed my money because he's not gonna give my dog back.
From the day she bought the dog been with me. She came from buying the dog straight to me.
He only spent one night with my puppy.
She don't have no time for that dog.
He sold it. He sold it to a lady and he can't get it back.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lindsay Clark versus Gilliard. Step forward.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Miss Clark.
Yes.
The young woman is your niece, is that? And the young man standing next to her is your nephew. That's also your sister's child.
Yes.
Same sister.
Yes.
And you are how old?
I'm 32 years old.
And you?
I'm 27 years old.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a program coordinator for a nonprofit organization.
And you?
Forklift operator.
And what do you do?
I was a substitute teacher. I have a degree in elementary education.
Miss Gilliard, you have children. How many?
I have 2 children.
How old are they?
They are 2 and 4.
And they are currently placed with your aunt.
That is correct.
How long have they been in placement with your aunt?
About a year.
You visit? Don't speak in...
Okay.
And they're placed by the courts?
That's correct.
This is what this case is about with regard to you. Your aunt says that there came a time sometime last year, that she, who has custody of your 2 children, purchased a car for you. She purchased a car for you, she says, with the understanding that you would use that car to sort of get yourself back on track so that you could regain custody of your children. So far, does that sound right?
I don't think the children have anything to do with it. I know that she's seen me struggling, and she...
How would I know about your children if she didn't tell me about your children in her complaint?
Judge Judy continues.
Or that you visit, does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Oh, this has everything to do with me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Okay, she says that, which is probably true, having sat in the family court, that when children are removed, there is usually a plan for the biological parent to regain custody of their children. And usually, since in your case, it probably had something to do with drugs. Court said you have to have completed a drug program, you have to be tested for drugs periodically, you have to be working, and as part of that, that's your plan to get your kids back. And I'm actually 100% certain that that's what the plan was, for you to get your children back. Your aunt says that in order to help you with your plan, she purchased a car for you last year. And the agreement that she had with you was, as long as you stayed clean, sober, and was working towards getting your kids back, that was the deal. That's why she did it. That's what she says. Data that supports that, Ms. Gilliard. A, that you're 32 years old, you have a job. There would be no reason for your children to be out of your custody, placed by the courts with a non-parent, and that you acknowledge in your answer that you had an unclean drug test at some point, which is when your aunt came to get the car. That all makes sense. Those are objective facts. So the story that I sort of put together from that makes sense. But I will allow you, if you like, to clarify anything that I got wrong.
Sorry,
just clarify anything. Just clarify anything that you don't tell me the whole story.
The car was purchased off the basis of me keeping my job. She knew that I was walking to work, and she wanted to help me out. In Leavenworth, Kansas, they don't have any public transportation, and she knew I was walking 20 minutes.
Listen to me. Don't tell me what she knew, because in the law, you can't decide what's in the operation of someone else's mind. What they knew, what they thought, what they cared about, what was important to them, that all calls for the operation of the mind. I want you to tell me subjectively what fact that I just stated for you was incorrect.
That the fact that she she volunteered the car.
And why would, now I can ask for the operation of your mind, because you're right here. I can say to you, here is somebody who is taking care of your 2 children, something that she didn't bargain for. I assume since she bought you this car that your house is open to her so that you can visit the children, or that you visit, does she take the children for you to see them someplace? Where do you see your children?
That doesn't have anything to do with a car.
Oh, this has everything to do with me. Do you live with your aunt?
No, I don't live with my aunt.
Where do you see your children?
I see them in Leavenworth, Kansas.
At her house?
No, I don't go to her house.
At whose house?
I have a home that I bring them to.
How often?
What does that have to do with a car? I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Well, that's sort of interesting. That would lead me to sort of a lot of very interesting questions. And that would lead me to a lot of very interesting questions of whether or not there's something going on here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was court-ordered. I don't believe that I will ever see a court order directing someone to have a car.
Judy.
Leanne Lindsay Clark is suing her niece, Janae Gilliard, and nephew, James Gilliard, for the value of a car and a loan for bail.
Now, usually when you don't want to answer a question, it's because you don't want to get into trouble.
No, it's because kids don't have anything to do with a gift, a car that was purchased as a gift.
Yes, it does.
No,
Well,
it doesn't.
Actually, it does, and it's getting more to do with it, because when the children are placed with you,
yes,
they live with you.
They do.
They do. Full time.
Yes.
All the time?
All the time.
All the time?
Yes.
Well, that's not what your niece says. She says she takes them to her house, where she has a home.
And she did at one time. She did.
At what time?
When they were having visitation that way. But now we just go down to the office, and that's where they visit.
Well, this is not going to go away.
That's all.
These questions are not going to go away. Was there a time when she was taking the children to her house?
Yes.
And was that permitted by the court?
Yes.
All right. And then something happened in order to make that supervised visitation.
Yes.
Just a minute. Listen, the two of you can decide that if you don't like these questions, if you don't like my questions, you can say wherever we came from in small claims court. Because your complaint says that the reason you bought a car for her is because it was court-ordered that she have a job, that she have a car.
Exactly.
Well, there's a second. Not exactly. Court never orders that you have a car. I don't believe that I will ever see a court order directing someone to have a car, that you must have a car. The court will order that you have a job before you can get your children back.
But
so all of this is in the complaint. And pay careful attention, the two of you, so you can look at each other and decide what you want to do. I don't plan on getting off this tear until I find out what's going on. So if you're not happy with this, say, we're going back to small claims court. Thank you very much. Do you understand?
I hear
you want to talk to him?
Yeah, I don't see what kids have to do with this at all. It's about a car. It's about a car.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you in a family dispute? Go to judgejudy.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.
This is very, very easy. Either you're going to answer my questions about your children, the car, where they are, how long they've been there, whether you are taking them to your house now or not. These are all things that I am going to find are important. She came to take it away. And if you're not comfortable answering those questions, you can say goodbye and leave. That's what you're going to do. Say goodbye and leave. If you're comfortable answering the questions, and I'm going to keep answering until I feel as if I have a truthful answer. Okay? Now, you may not want to, neither may your brother want to answer questions, but they're going to be questions that are posed. So you want to talk to your brother for a minute?
No, I answer your questions.
Great. When were the children coming to your house? In what months and year?
I don't recall.
Okay, case is over. Case is dismissed without prejudice. Go back to where you came from. And I would suggest that social services go pay a home visit immediately.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
This is a lie. He made this all up.
An overheated driver motors through her defense.
If I would have hit his car, he would have had my insurance and it would have been already taken care of because I make way enough money to pay for a mirror or anything else.
Let me know when you're finished.
I'm not finished. I'm not getting it. I don't even like being in the same room with this man.
Fine. Step out. Out!
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Ignacio Olivas is suing Brittany Hill Warner for damages to his vehicle after her car door flew open and hit his car.
Order. All rise. It's case number 60 on the calendar in the matter of Olivas versus Warner.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat, please.
Mr. Olivas, it is your claim that Miss Warner damaged your car.
Right.
She damaged your car, according to you, when, as you were pulling out of a parking spot, she had just gotten into the parking spot, opened up her door into your car.
Right.
Was your car moving at the time?
No, ma'am.
You were about to pull out of the spot.
I wasn't ready to pull out. I was checking some receipts.
So you were sitting in the car?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was in a parking lot of a big store, a Walmart?
Walmart, yes, ma'am.
Had you already been in the store?
Yes.
And you were going into the store?
That's correct.
On what date did this happen, Mr. Olivas?
February 28 in the morning.
That's not true.
How long had you been sitting in your car?
3-4 minutes.
Did Miss Warner pull up on the passenger side or the driver's side?
The passenger side.
Did you see her car pulling in?
I wasn't watching because I was watching my receipts, looking at my receipts. And then when I noticed is when I hit a big hit on my car, when she opened the door.
That's
and,
a lie.
And the wind.
I don't want to hear you.
And the wind, it was too windy, and the wind took the door away from her and scratched my car and broke the mirror.
Oh, that's a lie. It's not Chicago. Like, the wind is not that bad. It's Reno, Nevada.
What part of I don't want to hear you until I ask you? Don't you understand? Who is this?
That's my husband.
Good. I have a few questions for him. Stand up. How long have you known each other?
About 11 years.
I would like the first and last name of anybody that you know who fixes cars. First and last name.
I got the last name. I don't know the first.
Well, that's not helpful to me.
His name is...
Shut up! I don't want you to open your mouth until I ask you a question. Do you understand?
I do.
This is not going to be easy. It's going to get harder. So you do not have the name of anyone who fixes cars.
Garcia.
Now, did your wife just tell you the first name?
Yes.
How do you know Garcia?
All of the family members' cars.
How did you meet him?
Through fixing my car.
Through your wife?
Yes.
So you met Mr. Garcia through your wife because you didn't even know his first name. She had to tell you his first name, right? This is all going to become very important. You understand how it's going to become important, right?
Yes.
Yes. You understand? You understand how it's going to become very important. You know exactly where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Smart.
Oh, I'm all over
Now
it.
you can sit.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you both got out of the car, when this happened, and I assume you both got out of the car.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
She said, I'm sorry, I will promise you to fix your car, whatever the damage is.
Okay, that's what she said.
And I asked her for a pin to write down her name and policy insurance and everything. She don't have it. I don't have it either. So I asked her for her phone number. She gave me the number, and I called right there, right away, and she...
Did Miss Warner, according to her answer that she signed, ever say to you, I felt badly for him and told him that my husband knew someone who could fix it cheaply? Now we know where we're going, right? Right. Not I know someone who can fix it. My husband knew someone who could fix it cheaply. She said, even though my number, so you knew it was the right number.
She gave me her husband's phone number, and I did call him, and he told me, I'm at work right now. When I get off from work, I will call you back. Since then, I haven't heard from them at all.
Okay. So now you can stand up, sir.
Thank you.
Good. Just answer my questions. So your wife knew Garcia's name. Your wife knew Garcia's number. So there would be nothing to prevent your wife from saying to him, I really feel badly for you. My family's been using somebody for years. His name is Garcia. This is his number. He could probably fix it for you cheaply. Now, does that sound reasonable to you? I just read you what she wrote. Doesn't it sound reasonable if what her excuse is I never hit his car, but I felt sorry for him, and I wanted to get him somebody who could fix his car cheaply. She could give him his name and his number because you got all that information from her, right?
Wrong.
You just told me you met Garcia through your wife.
Correct.
Right. So she had the information. So she had to give it to you sometime 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Correct.
Whatever. She had the information.
She doesn't have it anymore, though. I'm the one who deals with all the
You don't even know his first name.
Because I call him Mr.
Just a
Garcia.
second. Sit down. True. That doesn't require an answer. That was a statement. Close your mouth. But then you managed to get a paper, Mr. Olivas, according to your complaint, and you wrote down her information.
Yes, I did.
Her tag number and the license plate number on her car. And you got no satisfaction from either the defendant or the husband when you tried to contact them. Put your hand down.
They never called me, Your Honor.
Now, the next thing that you did was you really tried to find them.
Right.
And you hired a process server.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that you?
It's him over here.
Would you stand up, please?
He's a molester.
It's all very easy. You do the wrong thing happens. You do the wrong thing, you get skunked sometimes at the end. Sometimes you come out scot-free. This is somebody who, instead of just letting it go and fixing whatever the mirror it was, he went to the expense of hiring a process server because you did the wrong thing.
Not true.
The right thing? Oh, yeah. The wrong thing. That didn't make sense what you said in your answer. Didn't make sense. Call my husband. He'll give you the name of somebody to do something cheap when you don't know this man from a hole in the wall. Here's my phone number. Don't take down anything else. I don't have my insurance. I don't have anything else.
I do have insurance, and I did have my insurance.
So
at
why
the
didn't you
time.
give it to him?
Because I never hit his car.
Just a second.
If I would have hit his car, he would have had my insurance, and it would have been already taken care of because I make way enough money to pay for a mirror or anything else. But there was no damage there.
Let's find out what the
There was nothing.
Let's find out.
Me like this with
Yes.
my
No,
name that said Brittany,
And I
with
was
my
2
husband
seconds
in the
of-
car,
I was
and
2
he
seconds
almost
of
got his
getting
ass
old.
beat. He is a
Straight up.
molester, and he needs to pay for his job.
Whoa. Straight
he
up.
threw paperwork in my face over this fake claim. Nobody makes that much damage on a vehicle from that silly picture with the mirror. If your car goes into a parking lot and you hit a door, it's a dent. It's not a scratch. It's not a lose a mirror. That's common sense. You pull into a parking spot and you park. At lunchtime, you open your door, it hits a car, then it would make a dent. It would not key up an entire car and you break your own mirror off to make a fake claim. I'm not getting into it with the grown man over a fake claim. I was just trying to help him. He called me 500 times. He harassed my family. He harassed my kids, and he grabbed my breast. He grabbed my breast in my car and threw paperwork in my face, scratching my lip. So he is a molester.
Wow.
And to have to even stand next to this man, there should be police here because he's a bad person. This case is fake. He made this all up.
I'm letting you talk yourself out.
On February 28th, I pulled into a parking lot at Walmart. I pulled into the car beside him. This man is standing outside of his car. He was not looking at a receipt. Who sits in the parking lot at 6 minutes at Walmart to look at a receipt? He's standing there. He has obvious damage on the side. The time out of my lunch with my name and everything on my uniform, and I represent my company, I had to stay there and talk to this man. I didn't have a choice. I was on lunch. I go inside. I had time to shop and everything. If I really did this, the man would have came into Walmart and found me. He would have definitely found me. He would have got my information. We would have moved forward. A freaking pin stopped your whole thing. Nowadays, we don't need pins. We have cell phones, so this is a lie. This makes no sense. I'm standing here in this courtroom for no reason because this man has harassed my family. This guy, that's why I'm countersuing, because this man came to my house 6 times, talked to my kids, refused information, did not leave a business card, did not do anything. Then he found me in my parking lot, flips around in the middle of the street with my kids in the car, asked me to roll down my window, and I did it because I'm like, who is this guy standing at my door? He pulls it down. You are Brittany. Pulls my breast in front of my kids, with my husband in the car.
Do me a favor. Don't repeat yourself. I'm listening to your tirade.
This is exactly what happened.
I just want to let me know when you're finished.
I'm angry.
Just a second. Let me know when you're finished.
I'm not finished because this is a lie.
Keep going.
This is a complete lie because nobody scratches a vehicle. If you're in a parking lot, the parking spots are this big.
Miss Warner.
Who can scratch up a whole entire vehicle? I'm in an SUV.
I told you to stop now. I let you get it out of your system, but I'm not going to listen to it twice. Do you understand? I heard about your breast at least twice.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Anybody else would have been in jail.
Do you understand me? I heard about your breast at least twice. So if you have nothing...
He deserves to hear about my breast 3 times.
And I want to tell you something. I've heard about it as much as I'm going to. Can I see the pictures of the damage to your car?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you can see the pictures of no damage to mine.
I don't care about your car.
Look at that car. If you key up a vehicle, your whole car is damaged and you pay thousands to get it fixed. The worst part of my car is it's dirty.
Now, may I please see the estimate to have your car fixed? What is your last name, sir?
Jacobs.
Mr. Jacobs. I'm going to put you out. Do you understand? I'm going to put you out.
I don't even like being in the same room with this man.
Fine. Your counterclaim's dismissed with prejudice. You can step out. Your counterclaim's dismissed with prejudice. You can step out. Out!
Good luck molesting people.
Wow.
Perfect. Just the way I like to do a case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Walked up to her, said, Brittany, I have some paper. Yes, it is. It's on your shirt. And I slid it through about a 2-inch crack on the window. So her window was only opened about that far, so.
Oh, I'm so glad it got quiet in here.
And later today.
Did she answer the phone?
She did.
And what did you tell her?
I said there's a lot of things wrong with this vehicle. That's not what I was looking for. I'm going to bring the car back, and I want the $1,100 back.
So what did you say?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Ignacio Olivas says Brittany Hill Warner owes for damaging his vehicle when her car door flew open and hit his car.
How did you know Mr. Olivas?
I just met him recently. We were doing a serve for him.
You doing a what?
We were doing a serve. Other
On
than that,
this case?
On this case.
So you never knew him before?
No.
So you were trying to serve a summons on that defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he pay you for your service?
He paid our company, yes.
How much did Mr. Olivas pay you for your service?
I believe it was around $49.
And you had the defendant's address?
Yes, I actually have our statement of our attempt for the serve.
May I see it, please? You had her address?
Yes.
How many times did you attempt to serve her at her address?
My second time.
Had you ever seen anybody at the house?
The first time that I went,
yes. Just you?
Yes,
Who
her
did you
husband.
See? Well, you're allowed to leave a summons with a person of suitable age and discretion at the house in your jurisdiction. Why didn't you leave it with her husband?
He denied that she lived there, and we didn't know if it was her husband or not for sure until I pointed out a picture.
Just a second. What exactly did he say to you?
He said another gentleman had already came and asked for her, and he had told her that she did not live there.
Did you attempt to serve her at her place of business?
No, we did not have a...
Only her house?
Yes.
Did you finally locate her?
I was leaving the parking lot, and she was pulling in.
Leaving what parking lot?
The parking lot where she lives. She was pulling in. She pulled into a parking spot. I came around, pulled up behind her, walked up to her, said, "Brittany, I have some paperwork for you." And she said, "My name's not Brittany." And I said, "Yes, it is. It's on your shirt." And I slid it through about a 2-inch crack on the window. So her window was only opened about that far, so...
Oh, I'm so glad it got quiet in here. Judging for the plaintiff in the amount of $26.91. Thank you very much. We're finished.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm 100% satisfied because she knows when somebody's lying. She knows when somebody's telling the truth and everything. And to myself, I don't think I can molest her either. I have to do the right thing and come to see Judge Judy because she's the best in the United States.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Shady Fagan versus Foy, step forward.
Alita Shady Fagan is suing Talisha Foy for a refund for a car she sold her that turned out to have issues.
Miss Foy, do you have the title to this car?
No, ma'am. She has it.
When did you give it to her?
I left it in the car when she had came to get it.
Well, the car is back at your house, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So the car is in your house. You have the title.
She took the title out of the car.
Did you?
Ma'am,
the answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that's answered my question.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Defendant said to you, "I don't know who you are. I'm not giving you my car without some collateral." So you gave her the $1,100 in cash.
I did.
And what did you do after you got the $1,100 and she took off with the car?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Alita Shady Fagan says Talisha Foy owes her a refund for a car with issues.
You were looking for a used car. You found it online. You contacted the defendant. You went to her house in May of this. Told you there were some issues with the car. Had you discussed a purchase price?
Yes.
And what was the purchase price?
$1,100.
According to you, you wanted to take the car to your mechanic before you finalized the deal, and you said to the defendant that you wanted to take the car to your mechanic. Defendant, according to your complaint, said to you, "I don't know who you are. I'm not giving you my car without some collateral." So you gave her the $1,100 in cash.
I did.
And where did you take the car?
I took it to NTB in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
To inspect it?
I told them I got a car. I said, "Can you look this over for me?"
And about what time did you get there?
I want to say around 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:45.
Okay, so it was shortly after you left her.
I drove straight there.
And they examined the car, and according to you, it needed a lot of work. You called her. What time did you call her?
I want to say around 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Where did you call her from?
From NTB.
From the mechanic?
Yes.
Did she answer the phone?
She did.
And what did you tell her?
I said, "I'm here. I just got the printout. There's a lot of things wrong with this vehicle. There's over $4,000 worth of repairs. That's not what I was looking for. I'm going to bring the car back, and I want the $1,100 back."
And she said?
She kind of hesitated. She said, "Okay, all right, but I'm not home right now. I can call you when I get home." And I said, "Okay."
Where did you go?
I was at my...
Did she call you from the mechanic?
No, ma'am.
When did she call you?
She called me around, I think, like 8 that night from her cell phone.
Well, I don't care what she called you from. She called you the same day.
Right.
The same day that she had made this transaction with you about 3:30 in the afternoon.
The transaction was around 1 or 1:30.
And what did you do after you got the $1,100 and she took off with the car? What did you do?
Nothing. I was at home all day till I went to my mother's house.
And what did you
stayed
do?
A couple of doors down from me.
And you still had the $1,100?
Yes, ma'am.
She called you and she said, I want to return this car. It's got a lot of damage on it. So what did you say?
I told her she already took the car. She wasn't getting her money back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Did she tell you that she wanted to take the car to a mechanic?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now you have the car, right? But
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't have the title.
No, ma'am.
She has the title. How are you driving the car without the title?
I'm not driving the car.
Who is?
Nobody is parked in the yard where she left it at.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Can I have the title to the car?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Your Honor, if I may.
What?
I may have been. I called her at 6, like I said, because I called her on 3 occasions when she did not call me back and she didn't pick up. So I sent the text message, which I have printed out.
I'd like to see it.
And the text messages actually have the times.
I'd like to see it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. Don't touch the car. I actually think that you're a scammer. I actually think that she told you, based upon what I read, that she wanted to have the car checked out. And you told me that you still had the money. You told her, don't bother coming here, I don't have the money. Business is business. That's what you told her. So I actually think that your answers to me and your answers were disingenuous. You understand? I just want you to know what I think about you. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Oh, well, of course I'm happy about it. I agree.
I'm fine with it.
I knew she would see, right through it.
I told her some problems were wrong with it.
Was prepared that it was as is, but she did not disclose.
Check engine light was on.
Everything that was wrong with the car.
Because I'm
$100.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am. Yes, I did. She's lying.
A web designer and client weren't clicking.
It was not published on the internet, period, in discussion. Yes, it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out.
And it's not her first reboot.
Did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Real estate broker Constance Kelly is suing graphic designer Eleanor Phillips for a refund for a business website.
Order. All rise. It's case number 102 on the calendar in the matter of Kelly versus Phillips.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Kelly, you hired the defendant to do a website for you. You are a real estate broker. When did you get your license?
I was licensed in 2016.
And did you work for someone else?
I was at another brokerage, yes, before I got my own broker's license and launched my own company.
Which was when?
I launched my brokerage.
That company?
CKRE, Idaho.
Bert, do you have an iPad or some device there?
Yeah.
What's the website? It's CKRE-Idaho.com.
Okay.
Okay, I'd like to look at it. Okay, and when did this website go up?
That website went up about a month ago.
Prior to that, did you have a website? That's a yes or no?
No.
When did you hire the defendant to build a website for you?
The beginning of January.
Of 2019. How much was she charging you to build that website?
$3,600.
And you gave her a deposit?
Yes, ma'am.
Of $1,800?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and that's what you want back?
Correct.
Did she build a website for you?
No, ma'am.
Did you build a website for her?
Yes, I did.
Can you show me what you did?
Yes, I can. These were all the pages before the website was taken down. There is some content that is not exactly finished in there because it was not completed.
Would you take a look and tell me if this is a fair and accurate representation of the work that the defendant did and that was up?
So, Your Honor, these are what we call mock-ups. This was never published.
Me that those were never on the internet.
No, ma'am.
That those pages you never used.
Correct.
Okay.
She's lying.
Where did you get those from?
The internet.
When?
I believe that was the day that our dispute happened, which was February 7th.
Now, the dispute occurred because the website was not built so that it could accommodate MLS listings?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
Do you have MLS capability now?
I haven't.
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
And the website is up because he just found it.
It's a placeholder while the new website is being developed.
And you do understand that there is now a fee for using MLS services?
No, not for me. Because I'm not a vendor. I don't provide that as a web developer.
Is what you're telling, because this is all about the MLS and whether or not you get your deposit back. So far, she did work. I see she did work, and I don't believe you that it wasn't up on the internet, by the way. I don't believe that. I believe that that's where she got the pictures from.
It was not on the internet, Judge Judy.
Yes, it was, and I even have an email where I sent her her username and password so she could view.
May I see it?
Yes. It's right here. It wasn't ready to be viewed publicly.
She just said the key words, Your Honor, period.
But yes, it was published on the internet. You just needed a password.
You're fighting with each other. I'm going to throw you both out because I don't have to listen to this. I'm reading something.
Your Honor, this is a red herring. I have a voicemail from Miss Phillips over here saying that she has no problem refunding me my money.
Just a second. I'm reading something. Did you have somebody developing a website for you prior to the defendant?
I had another local...
That's either a yes or a no.
No.
Well, that's not what it says here.
I'm not clear on your question, Your Honor.
My question is very clear. I speak English. I said, did you have another developer prior to hiring the defendant?
I've had several developers.
Right. So the answer is yes. How many?
I would say that I've had 4 websites in the last 4 years. As my company, my business has grown and expanded, the demands of my website have also grown and expanded.
No, that's not what this says. Okay, now you say you have a voice message from her.
Yes, ma'am.
Where she says she is going to refund the deposit that you gave her, which she's opposing in this proceeding. She said she did a lot of work on the website, and she put in hours worth of work.
She didn't. She put up a simple template.
I'm speaking. She said she put in work on your website, and she deserves to be compensated for that. If you went someplace else, that's up to you. So now I'd like to hear the voicemail.
How to respond to that? If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am.
If you can tell that I'm taking a breath because she clipped that voicemail, she's not playing the full voicemail in context.
I can play the full voicemail if you'd like, Your Honor.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to clip audio.
You obviously just did.
If you talk to each other, I'm just going to throw you both out.
Sorry.
Do you understand?
I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your...
No, Your Honor, this is 2.5 minutes. Do you want to listen to the full entirety?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Constance. This is Elle. I just received your email, and I'm a little disappointed, but I just want to get some clarification. First of all, I've spent over 22 hours literally working until midnight trying to get your website complete and ready to go. I just want to express that to you because I have put a lot of time into the site to where it is now. And that does not include phone calls and getting you set up on GoDaddy and making sure that all of that is set up on your end. Runs with that you want to pay me $350 for over 22 hours of work. And I'm not really sure how to respond to that. If you feel so strongly that I haven't done anything for you, then I will refund your money. And I have no problem doing that because that's the type of person that I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in. I can't make your site live because I have put in significant...
No. Because I have.
I am. But I also want to let you know that if you don't pay me, or at least let me keep the deposit for the work that I have put in, I can't make your site live because I have put in a significant amount of time. I just told you that I was willing to make your site live and get that up and going and eat the rest of any other costs that I would have charged in order to get the IDX up and running. I never told you that I had IDX capabilities. I was depending on you for that. It was my assumption that as a realtor, I mentioned it a couple times, that the only requirement that I needed in order to get the MLS working on your website was a username and password. And we both found out at the same time that you're not willing to pay $150 a quarter for that password access. And if you want me to sign up as a vendor and I'll pay $150 a quarter, I will agree to that, but I'm only going to agree to it for 1 year. So I think that's where we're landing, is that I really have put a lot of time into this. So if you could please give me a call back so we can at least talk this out, I would really appreciate it. You can record the phone calls. That is totally fine with me. But I need you to understand that I have put a whole...
That's it, Your Honor.
She was being most reasonable with you, Ms. Kelly.
I understand.
She was being most reasonable with you. She said, I will keep the deposit. You don't have to pay me anything else. I will get your website up and running. We both found out at the same time that there is a fee for MLS of $150 a quarter. I will pay that for the first year, which means she was willing to pay $600 in order to... That's what she says in there. I mean, you were giving me that one clip where she says, I will give you back your money.
I was trying not to waste your time, Your Honor.
Your case is dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
I think it was a very fair and just decision. I was willing to just bend over backward for her, and she just didn't care. You should absolutely get paid, and you should fight when you need to.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Knutson versus Beckwith. Step forward.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knutson is suing her former employee, Julie Beckwith, for soliciting clients away from her cleaning company in Hawaii.
This is a contract case. Ms. Knutson, you hired the defendant as an employee with your home cleaning service.
Yes.
What month did you hire her?
That was July of 2018.
And she worked for you until when?
Till April 30th, 2019.
And where was that business?
In Honolulu, Hawaii.
And where did you live?
I lived in Utah at the time.
Had you lived in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was there for 8 years.
So you were running your business long distance?
Yes.
How many employees did you have?
It fluctuated anywhere from 1 to 3.
Did you do home cleaning when you lived there?
I did, yes.
And you had a certain number of clients?
Yes.
So those clients that you had, you turned over to some people first. They didn't work out, and then you hired the defendant to do the same work that you were doing.
Yes, exactly.
Now, you had a contract with her. Mm-hmm. I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
So what you have is a contract with her that has a non-interference clause with your business. And it reads, the client list, client information, and client contact information are the property of 808 Cleaning, that's your company, and the employee may not use, service, or solicit said clients outside of the administration of 808 Cleaning. The employee and the employer agree not to publicly defame the other party in the event of termination. Okay, so what happened was she worked for you for about 8 months, and then went out on her own, and I don't know how many, but many of the clients that she was servicing followed her to her new place.
Right.
And so you're suing her for breach of contract.
Yes, but also, I mean, she was very dishonest. She told me she was leaving to start a vacation rental.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many of her clients came with you?
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Yes, that's correct.
And 3 decided to go with her?
That I know of. Those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, you really have to understand, it's not as if you were the CEO of a large company. You had a personal business, you were moving, and what you did was you hired somebody else to clean, and you took a cut of whatever they... Half, whatever it is. You took half, and in exchange for that, you got the clients, and you got half. That's what the deal was. And the question is, how many of your clients stayed with you?
About 19 or 20. The total of everything she took added up to about $17,000 a year that she took from my business.
You see, you have a contract, but an unsympathetic position.
She was still working for me when she was telling them about her new business.
Well, you don't know that. You don't have a witness here to tell you.
I do know that. I have text messages.
Oh, I'd like to see.
Okay.
If you have text messages that while she was still working for you, she was soliciting these clients to come to work for her, your case is rock solid.
I have a witness also.
Great. You may have, but how many of her clients came with you? A number.
A few.
Not a number.
3.
3. And 19 or 20 stayed with you?
Oh, well, those are the only ones that have proof.
Well, that's all that counts here. We're in a court.
Right.
You understand you're in an unsympathetic position for me. Now show me proof that she was soliciting the 3 clients she took from you while she was working for you. She's not allowed to do that. And that's not what she said she did.
She admitted that she did it, Your Honor.
You said you had text messages. I'd like to see it.
Got a little scrambled. This is the one from actually the client here, Adrian.
I'd like to see it. When did you terminate your business? April 30th?
I gave her a 2-week notice on April 16th, and
4/16.
my last day was the April 30th.
It's dated May 1st.
Yes.
After she left your employment.
However, if you...
I'm going to read it. Okay. It's dated May 1st after she left your employment.
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay. This is a very easy... She says, hello, Heidi. I assume that's your first name. She said, I sent this to you on Monday. This is Wednesday. I understand that Julie, so 2 days before she left, but she had given you notice, I understand that Julie is leaving, and we will be getting a new person with your company. So she told them clearly that she was leaving, and a new person would be coming from your company. That's not unreasonable. So far she didn't break anything. She said, goodbye, I will not be coming back. You'll be getting a new person from the company. It's come to know our home, a dog, and us so well. I hope you understand, and thank you for introducing us. Please accept this as my notification that we'll be ending services with your company effective this week. Again, thank you for supporting our housekeeping needs, and I wish you much success in the future. That's you.
Correct.
What's wrong with that?
It shows that she was telling everybody about her new cleaning business prior to when
No. That's not what this says at all.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out because I could pick some stranger out to come and clean my house. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cleaning service owner Heidi Knudsen says former employee Julie Beckwith solicited clients away from her business. Julie is countersuing for unpaid work hours.
Okay, I still haven't heard that she breached the contract.
She's servicing the clients that were on my client list.
She can service them. She's not allowed to solicit them. It's a free country. They can say, I don't want you to be my cleaning service anymore. I live in Hawaii, and you live in Utah, and I don't want you to pick somebody out. I mean, don't you understand the logistics of it? Are you licensed and bonded?
I am.
Okay. You are Adrian.
Yes.
Last name?
Stofko.
You live in Hawaii?
Correct.
How long had the plaintiff been servicing your home?
I would say it's been at least a year, if not more.
Was the plaintiff the person who came?
No. There was maybe 2 to 3 different people before Julie began cleaning.
And I would like you to tell me the conversation you had with her in April. Must have been in April, sometime in April.
I travel for work quite frequently, so it's often that I need to coordinate the time that someone will be coming to the home. And in case I'm not there, my husband would need to let them in. And so I had asked her what time next week would she be coming, and she let me know at that point she would not be coming anymore because she put in her 2 weeks' notice.
And what
at
did you
that-
say to her?
I asked her, are you moving off the island? Where are you going? And she responded and let me know that she was starting her own company. And to that, I asked her if she would be willing to continue cleaning for us because, again, we really had grown to trust her. I leave the house sometimes when she's cleaning. And because we had kind of a several different folks and we finally had someone consistent that we trusted, I asked her if she'd be willing to continue servicing our...
That is somewhat different, actually, than what you wrote in this text. That's a solicitation. That's not saying you will be getting someone from the company to come and service you. And of course, you can have a conversation with her. You can say, can I have your contact information? You probably already had her contact information, so you were free to call her. But what you just testified to is that she said to you, I'm leaving, I'm starting my own company, and that you're not allowed to do, Ms. Beckwith.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
How many clients do you have? 3 that you took from her? How many clients do you have altogether now?
I have about 7.
Okay. How much do you pay her?
I pay her once a week. It's $130, and depending upon if there's extras, it can go up to $170 a week.
And a reasonable period of time for a non-compete, I would say, well, it's not in here, is a year. And in a year, you pay her at least $5,000 if you're paying her $130 a week.
Correct.
Sometimes more. Well, my limit is $5,000, and that's what you're entitled to. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you. What about my countersuit?
For?
Overtime out and paid me as a contractor.
Please excuse me, step up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I didn't steal her clients. Her clients decided to not continue with her and to go with me.
I couldn't be happier.
So I didn't ask them to follow me. They said that they wanted to do that.
She knew she was being dishonest.
Ready to be done, move on.
I thought it was going the other way, and I'm stoked.
One of your children ran into some financial difficulty.
Exes agreed to help clean up their son's mess.
You and your son had a falling out, and you changed your mind about paying.
Right.
Now Dad gets nothing but dirty looks.
I was not notified.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that. There's no question. You knew that they had had a major blow-up. Don't look at him.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Janet King is suing her ex-husband, Paul King, for breaching their agreement to help their son pay his rent.
Order. All rise. On the calendar in the matter of King versus King.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. King, you and Mr. King have been divorced, according to what I read, for over 20 years.
Yes.
And you have grown children.
Yes.
One of your children ran into some financial difficulty.
Yes.
I gather that's not an unusual occurrence for this particular child.
He got hurt at work and was on disability, and yeah.
And is he married?
He is.
And his wife is pregnant?
She is.
They were unable to pay their rent.
Exactly.
And some bills. So you contacted, according to what I read, you contacted your ex-husband.
Ryan contacted my mom and asked my mom for help.
Okay, this is your son?
Yes.
That's your mother?
Yes.
So, to speed things up, he asked your mom for help. Your mom called you?
Called Paul.
Called his father?
His dad, yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So your former mother-in-law called you and said, what's your son's name?
Ryan.
Ryan is in some difficulty.
Yes.
On what date was that? Do you remember, Mr. King?
It's close to these text messages. I believe it was like maybe Thursday, the 11th of April.
Do you remember what date it was that you called?
My daughter just reminded me it was the 12th.
Friday.
Okay. And what did you say when you...
She originally suggested splitting it 4 ways between my mom and me and Janet and her.
How much was your son looking for?
His rent, I think, is $1,700. I think half of it was $877, according to Janet's record. So.
Okay. So your former mother-in-law wanted you to come up with $877, either between you and your mother. She was going to kick in some money with her daughter, I assume. And that was on the 12th.
Correct.
And what did you tell her?
I kind of reluctantly agreed.
Did you agree on the 12th, is my question.
I did.
And then what happened, Mr. King?
Following that, I can't remember exactly how this transpired, but there was a text string that started.
Do you have that?
Yes.
I'd like to take a look at it. Because this is what it is alleged. It is alleged that based upon your agreement to pay the $877, your former wife paid the whole amount of rent, and then it is alleged that you and your son had a falling out and you changed your mind about paying.
Right.
So the whole issue is whether or not your former wife, Mrs. King, paid your son's rent before or after you advised her that you changed your mind. Because you understand, once you have an agreement, then you're bound.
Correct.
But if she had not acted on that agreement and paid the money, and if you notify her before that you've changed your mind, she had an opportunity to back out and say, I'm just going to give you $877. Do you understand?
Yes.
Great.
Sorry for some of the language in there.
No. I'm not looking for the emails. You had an argument with your son on the same date, Friday, April 12th. That's what this says, at 5:45 in the p.m. is when the email chain started with your son.
There should be a text message in there to Janet saying, you guys are on your own, I'm not going to pay into it.
Okay. Well, was this to Janet?
Yes.
And this says, you and your mom. How do I know this was to Janet? It says, you and your mom will have to figure out what you're going to do or not do for Ryan.
Does it show?
Oh, you and your mom.
Right.
I got you and your, this is to Janet.
Right.
You and your mom.
Right.
Are going to have to figure out what you're going to do or not do for Ryan. I'm not doing any more, I'm out. So this was at 6:44 in the p.m. on Friday, April 12th.
Correct.
Okay. Now, Miss King,
yes,
what you have to do is you transferred the money from you and your mother to your son. The date and the time you transfer the money between you, your mother, and your son. And if you don't have that, you have no case.
The money from the bank?
Yes.
Well,
unless what you're telling me is that you transfer the money to your son.
No, I didn't.
After or before you received your former husband's text.
I never received a text saying that he was out. Never once, because I was blocked. As soon as this all happened, he blocked my phone, he blocked Ryan's phone, and he blocked my mom's phone.
Not before he sent this. Listen to me.
I don't have that because it didn't go through. Ryan paid it on with my debit card on a app, renter's app.
Just show
I don't
everybody.
have that.
Just a second.
Okay.
What you're going to have to do is everybody keeps records, everybody, of the date and the time of a transfer, including apps.
I have. There it is, and if she could just slide like that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bert, I'm not touching it. Do you understand that I'm not touching it?
It's the date, but it does not show the time.
Could you scroll over there?
That's the second page.
Oh, the check was returned to you.
It was. Shh. I'm sorry.
Just a second. It was returned for insufficient funds with a check charge of $25? Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
It is.
Okay. And that was done on April the 18th?
Yes.
Don't move with that thing. So now the check was returned on April 18th, and your son did not get the money on the 18th.
True.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And the money was resent somehow.
Correct.
But you had already been notified on the 12th that your former husband, yes, you were.
I was not notified.
Well, I don't believe that. Let's start out with that. You were notified. Either he has a text, but you were either notified by your son, by your mother. Between the 12th and the 18th, there isn't a question in my mind that you were notified that your former husband was not, don't look at him, was not going to contribute towards this rent. There's no question in my mind about this. You were in discussion with your son because your son must have called you and said to you, your check bounced at some point. on the 18th, some sort of a discussion with him, which was, I had a big fight with my father. He blocked me from his phone. All right, well, that would be a ding-a-ling. Then you would have to say.
But that didn't happen. Ryan did not have a conversation with his dad. I mean, his dad blocked me and blocked him and blocked my mother's phone.
That would
he
have...
never sent me that text,
Mrs. King,
and he never
Mrs.
told
King,
me.
Miss King.
Paul, you're going to tell her that you blocked me and you did
No,
not get that
just a
text?
second.
He's lying.
You...
Is it funny?
There is no question in my mind that he blocked you, he blocked your son, and he blocked your mother. There's no question in your mind that that happened. There's also no question in your mind that you knew by the 18th, when your check was returned for insufficient funds, that your former husband, you knew by the 18th, when you reissued the check, if you ever did your mother reissue a check?
Yes, ma'am.
On what date?
The 18th.
There's no question between the 12th and the 18th, you knew that they had had a major blow-up. That a fair statement?
Correct.
That's a fair statement.
Correct.
The same
Don't
day.
speak. Don't speak to him. Listen, don't speak to him. Stand up. Co-sign for a car for you?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I don't know the exact date. It
Give
was
me a
probably
year.
2 years ago.
Give me a year.
2 years ago.
How old are you?
34.
34 years old, and you needed your father to co-sign for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And when he co-signed for you, that meant that you were going to pay for the car.
Correct.
He was just co-signing because you had bad credit.
Correct.
Did you end up paying for the car?
He paid.
Just a second. That's either a yes or a no.
I made payments on the car, correct.
No. Did you pay for the car?
I made payments for the car.
Who else made payments for the car?
He made a large payment.
And how much was a large payment?
Without my knowledge, he made this payment. I don't know what the total of the payment was. I don't know what the total of the payment was.
Well, you had to have owed a lot of money.
It was
just a second.
Okay.
Let's play.
Yep.
Not yup. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You had to have owed a lot of money on the car for your father to have made a large payment. And if what you're telling me is I don't know how much it is, then you're more irresponsible than your mother thinks you are.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're 34 years old.
Yeah.
You have a child on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any more children?
No.
Just one?
Yes, ma'am.
On the way. So you're responsible enough to have a child. Then you should be responsible enough to know how much your father paid off on a car that he just co-signed for because you...
In a moment.
He just did it because you would be without a car, and he would be without credit.
The car was not in risk of being taken away.
Well, then he just made you a gift? Is that what you're telling me?
That's the way it seemed to me.
Well, then he's a really nice guy.
And later today,
I yanked the little dog out of its mouth, and she kind of fell back down, and he decided to eat her up some more. And so I finally yanked her up, and she flew into my arms.
Miss Urell, it's not what you say in your complaint.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Janet King says ex-husband Paul King reached their agreement to help their son pay his rent during a time of need.
Now, how much was a large payment? How much?
$7,000.
So your father paid off $7,000, and he paid off $7,000 in about what year?
2018.
Is that because you asked him?
No.
He just did it because you would be without a car, and he would be without credit.
The car was not in risk of being taken away.
Well, then he just made you a gift? Is that what you're telling me?
That's the way it seemed to me, yes, ma'am.
Well, then he's a really nice guy.
I would not argue that.
Just a second, that he's a really nice guy.
Not
he paid
arguing.
off $7,000 to his 33-year-old son of a car that you were supposed to pay off. Then it sounds like you're not arguing that. Now you can sit down. Just want to let you know I'm not sympathetic. Your case is dismissed. We're done. So's your counterclaim. That's silly.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I hope everybody's happy.
He did not send me a text message saying he was not going to pay.
Just got to evaluate things as they come along.
He's a liar, and I have nothing to say to him.
I love him. I only wish the best for him.
I will not ever go and ask him anything in the future.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Urell versus Davis. Step forward.
Marlene Urell is suing William Davis for vet bills and punitive damages after his unleashed dog attacked her Pomeranian.
Ms. Urell, I don't know exactly what you're suing for. It's your claim that the defendants dog bit your dog. You took the dog to the vet. The vet said your dog required certain treatment. You didn't have the money for the treatment. There was some sort of an arrangement reached with the vet that if you surrendered the dog would be treated as a rescue, which is how you got the dog, as a rescue, and that they would do the surgery. Before I even get to the substantive part of who initiated this fighting, did you pay any vet that you paid it?
May I approach? Sure.
No, give it to Bird.
Thank you.
What was the date of this alleged incident with the defendant's dog?
It was February 9th, 2019, at about 4:40 p.m.
Okay. So the first time you took the dog to the vet was 2 days later.
Yes.
This says that on the 11th, the dog was euthanized.
I took the dog to the veterinarian.
No, I'm just reading you what it says.
Yes.
And they charged $125 for that. And then it says refund Visa or MasterCard.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
The veterinarian, I took her into the veterinarian after she had survived the dog attack, but she was not walking. I took her to the veterinarian, and they said...
Don't tell me what they said.
Okay.
Just tell me what this is. Was the dog euthanized or not?
No, the dog was not euthanized.
Then this was reversed, so you didn't pay this.
Correct. I was refunded $125.
I only want you to tell me what you paid to the vet.
There was $88. It's on there. And fee, which I was not refunded, but I was refunded the $125 because I couldn't So I paid $88 for an urgent care and $3 for body disposal, but I was refunded $125 euthanasia.
I want you to show me from your Visa bill how much you actually paid the vet. I asked you, how much did you pay the vet? You sent me up these two bills. That's not true. You didn't pay the vet this money because it was refunded.
There should be 2 pages there.
I have 2 pages.
Okay.
You gave me both pages of money that you say you paid.
So the first...
And the first one you didn't pay because the dog wasn't euthanized.
I did pay it, but they refunded it to me. That's why it says
All I want to know is, from you, how much you paid the vet.
I paid the vet $91.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
February 9th, I took Spitzy outside. We were in a common area of my complex, sitting on a bench, not standing outside, not looking at the rain. You and your dog were, according to you, were sitting on a bench.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Marlene Urell says William Davis's unleashed dog attacked and mauled her Pomeranian.
Now, I'm ready to hear the story.
2019, which was a Saturday, it had finally stopped raining where I live, and so my dog wanted to go for a walk. And she looked out the window and did her dance, just took her out for a walk.
Just tell me,
Okay.
your dog wanted to go out for a walk. You had gotten the dog a year before as a rescue, correct?
Correct.
And you took the dog out, and?
And we stood in front of my place about 6 feet from the stairs, and she was about 5 feet in front of me. When we were just standing there, you know, she didn't want to walk, she just wanted to enjoy, no rain, and I did too, and we were just standing there. And all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of yellow scrabbling and crawling at the floor, and the next thing I knew, I didn't even see what happened. There was this dog, a yellow lab mix, and it was eating my little dog. And my little dog turned up and looked at me, and her little face was turned down so horribly. And I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know what was going on in this place where there is never anyone about or anything. And I was all completely alone until then. And I started to scream and scream and scream. And I guess the dog just kind of looked at me, and then I yanked the little dog out of its mouth, and she kind of fell back up her. He was chewing her belly, and so I finally yanked her up, and she flew into my arms.
Okay,
and
it's not what you say, Miss Urell. It's not what you say in your complaint. The story that you just told me is not what you swore to in your complaint. I'm just telling you that.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook
and follow us on Twitter.
Now, February 9th, I took Spitzy outside. We were in a common area of my complex, sitting on a bench. That's the first paragraph of what you told me. Not standing outside, not looking around, not looking at the rain. You and your dog were, according to you, sitting outside in a common area. You were sitting on a bench.
You know what? Sometimes I would sit there, you know, with the dog, but I kind of thank God that I was not sitting there that day.
You want to tell me your version of what happened, Mr. Davis?
Yes, Your Honor. There is no bench in that common area, for the record. So what happened was her dog and she were there in the common area. I was around the corner playing with my dog. Her dog was barking, so my dog runs around the corner. I recall her, call her, she didn't come back. So.
I want you, don't speak.
So I ran after my dog and come around to her dog biting my dog and my dog retaliating. And basically it's an 80-pound lab and a 10-pound Pomeranian. Didn't go very well for the little dog. And, yes, I will gladly pay her vet bill.
Which she paid $91 for. Yep. You have to pay not $5,000, which is what she wants, but you have to pay her vet bill.
Yes.
Did you offer to pay her vet bill?
On numerous occasions.
And what did she say when you offered to pay her vet bill?
She said I owe her more than the $91 I owe her for her adoption fees and her vaccination costs.
$91. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you very much.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I'm still amazed that people can lie in court and get away with it.
She has a history of suing people in our complex. This is what she does.
She would do bear dances. She would stand up and dance.
She didn't take the dog to the vet till almost 2 or 3 days later.
She would say things like, go out, love you.
Thankfully, the rescue adopted the dog, paid for the surgery, and somebody else owns it now.
I know for a fact, though, I paid her.
Facts are right here. I can show you the facts.
Her pushy friend couldn't wait to repossess a car.
You didn't pay for periods of time, according to this.
I was late sometimes.
All the time. I'm just trying to help you.
Don't help me.
But you can only push so far.
Something wrong with you. I mean, are you trying to make the person who has to decide this case dislike you?
Judge Judy. About to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Paula Casso is suing her former best friend, Nicole Martinez, for the return or value of a Kia Soul and her personal belongings.
Order. All rise. This is case number 92 on the calendar, the matter of Casso versus Martinez.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Ms. Casso, you and the defendant were good friends for many years. According to your complaint, in 2016, Ms. Martinez bought another car. She had a car on which there was a loan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You made an agreement with her in 2016, according to you, to take over payments on the car. You would pay for the car, pay for the insurance, and when the car was paid off, it would be yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the agreement?
No, ma'am.
That's baloney.
I'm sorry, but it's not. I have text messages. I have everything. I can show you what I have.
Okay, so what you're telling me is from 2016 to 2019, the plaintiff paid on the car, and she was just using it. After she finished paying off the car, she was going to give the car back
Originally,
to you.
it was...
She was going to give the car back to you. I'm getting your position. She paid on the car, and your position is going to pay on the car and pay for the insurance, but when the car was paid off, she was going to give it back to you.
She couldn't even pay the payment. She never made a payment. She never did it on time. She was constantly late.
That's not what I asked you.
And
what I asked you was...
I let her borrow the car.
That's your position, that you let her borrow the car.
I felt bad for her. She's my best friend. I've done a million things for her. I can name them.
Miss Martinez, I just asked you a question. My question to you was, that's what you want me to believe, that she took the car.
No, ma'am, that's the truth.
That she took the car, she paid for the car, and at the end, when the car was paid off, she was going to give it back to you.
She didn't even make the payment. She was constantly behind. She was 3 months behind when I took it away.
Can I see
3 months behind.
Can I see the title to the car? Where's the title to the car?
The title is in my glove compartment. It's in the car that she has.
Can I see the title to the car?
It's not in the glove compartment. It's not there. I don't know what she did with it. I don't know if she stole it. I don't know what she did with it. The title is my name. The car's paid off. The loan is in my name. I'm not sure what else I need to show you.
I have text messages.
Just a second. It's very, very easy. The car was not in your possession from 2016. What month, Miss Casso?
May.
May of 2016.
That's not true. September of 2016.
December. December of 2016.
September.
There's something wrong with you. Probably. I mean, do you decide this case, dislike you?
No, I would love for you to love me.
No, just a second. Is that what you're trying to do? You said to yourself, I'm going to make the jury, who has to decide the facts in this case, dislike me.
Your Honor.
Out. Out. You, out. Perfect. Was the car in your possession from December 2016 until March 23rd of 2019?
At times, yes, ma'am, it was.
Just a second. Tell me when that was. So far, I've May 2016 to March 2019. I would like you to tell me, I have a lot of papers there, in what period of time did you have physical possession of the car?
Multiple occasions.
No, that doesn't answer my question.
You want specific dates?
Yes, that's what I asked for. Specific dates when between December, she says May, say December of 2016 and March of 2019, you had possession of the car.
I don't have specific dates, Your Honor.
Okay. How much were the monthly payments?
$350 for the car and $100 for insurance.
Who were they made payable to?
I sent her the money.
How?
At first, it was deposit in her account or cash, and then as of October 10th.
October of what year?
Oh, 2017.
May I see the proof of payments from October 2017?
Your Honor,
I didn't ask you a question. Well, what I see here, Ms. Casso, is that you made payments, but they weren't always the $350 a month.
No, I was.
You didn't pay for periods of time, according to this, and then you would make up payments, or you'd pay $100.
Yes, ma'am. I was late sometimes, yes.
All the time.
And
I'm just trying to help you.
No, don't help me.
Okay.
Don't help me.
I won't help you anymore.
Don't help me.
Yes, ma'am,
I've been
I'm sorry.
doing this for 50 years. I don't
sorry.
need any help.
I'm sorry.
So it looks as if you were inconsistent with your payments.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, the total number of payments that you made equaled the total that you put down here, $5,545?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Right, so you had the car for 27 months,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's $7,000. And according to you, giving you credit for everything that you have here, you paid $5,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then you didn't pay.
Could you repeat that?
You were supposed to pay $7,000, and you didn't.
From what date?
I'm giving you every benefit of the doubt. I'm saying it's from December.
You are.
You said it's from before that. Before that, it would be even more months.
Yes. Well, there are some that are missing because I paid her cash or deposited her to her account.
No, that's not true.
I'm just going from these dates.
True at all.
From the date you said you started to pay her, by transferring it, you were supposed to pay her $7,000. You only paid her $5,000.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. And she took the car back.
Yes.
And you had the car for over 2 years, right? According to you, you had the car 2.5 years.
Yes.
And all you put into the car in the 2.5 years that you can prove is $5,500.
Yes, because I opened that account in May of 2017.
All I'm telling you is you drove a car.
That's not
Consider it
true
this
either.
way. You didn't make all the payments you were supposed to make, and she repossessed the car. So I want you to figure it this way. If you rented a car for 2.5 years, you would have paid more than $200 a month for a car.
I know for a fact, though, I paid her everything that she needed.
No, but it's not true according to this.
Facts are right here. I can show you the facts. Sorry, I'm just trying to show you.
If it wasn't sent through there, then I gave it to her. I have text messages proving that
Then
she
I'd
said
like-
she would give was going to be paid off in May of 2018.
Again,
And so
not
she
true.
sent me that it was going to be like 5 more payments. And so then 5 more payments, that's when it was paid off. She said, give me $1,450 and I'll give you the title.
I'd like to see those text
I'd
messages.
like to see them too.
I'd like to see the text messages. And that was in November of 2018. You transferred $1,450 to her. I'd
Yes.
like to see the text message to her. If she says, send me $1,450 and I'll send you the title. Then that makes it easy.
Your Honor, can I show you what I have that I actually paid?
No, not your turn yet. I'll tell you when it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's in the papers
no.
I gave you.
Oh, well, you gave me more than I asked for.
Okay, so maybe they're in the back.
Would you show this to the defendant, please? Her payment to you of $1,450 is reflected here 2 days later.
I agree.
Okay, and you told her you would give her the title to the car.
Right, I agree, but this does not say $1,450. This is just saying when you pay me in full. She hasn't paid for the vehicle.
No.
I'm paying $360 a month, and I can tell you what I'm paying $360 a month. She's paying what she assumes is full for her. So maybe it is in full for full conversation. This is just
I want you to read both pages of that text. You say to her, you owe me $1,450, you owed me $1,750, you paid $200, and then another $200, you owe me $1,450, and then you can have the title. 2 days later, she sent you $1,450. That was November 15th.
This page in the back does not say that.
Yes, it does.
It says $1,750.
Read on!
I just did.
No, just read on. Read where it says you owed me $1,750, you paid $200. You go through the numbers. Now you owe me $1,450.
Right, what she was behind in payments on, not in total in paying the car off full. The car, I paid $1,500 down. So I'm going to give her a free car? I'm going to let her pay the year and a half that I paid on it, and she's going to get a free car. She didn't pay me numerous times.
Just a second.
I'm paying $360 a month, and she's paying me $350. There's never a payment in full. That's what she owed me from behind, not paying me in full.
Can I have that, please? I want to see any payment that you made on the car after November of 2000. Listen to what I'm doing. You don't show me what I didn't ask for. You let me finish my statement. I want you to show me any payments that you made on the car after December of 2018. I just want you to show me any payment that you made on the car on 18 after she sent you the $1,450. Just show me. Do you have any proof of payments of any payments?
Of course not, because it was paid off.
Do you have any proof of payments that you made on the car? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I am happy with the results, but I do wish I got my car back.
It's my car. My title, my car. It's very simple facts.
I guess it was just a altercation.
A physical altercation, Judge. Did you even hear anything about it?
Actually, she assaulted me first. I just defended myself.
Literally, altercation. There's everything. It's all here. And yeah, that's great.
Just an argument? I don't know.
Because she's a drunk idiot. Drunk idiot.
I have no idea. I guess she was never really a friend.
I don't know, but I'm glad that she's not my friend anymore. Very glad.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of King versus Willoughby. Step forward.
Nicole King is suing 25-year-old Rebecca Willoughby for the return of money she paid for a Toyota Solara.
Miss Willoughby, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Who do you live with?
Myself and my daughter.
How old is your daughter?
2 years old, Your Honor.
When was she 2?
May 4th.
Did you ever live with her father?
Yes.
In what month and year?
2015.
Until when?
2017.
What month in 2017? Did you move or did he?
He did.
Where were you living in December of 2017? The address?
Tehachapi, California.
Address?
Campo Court, apartment A.
How long did you live there?
About a year.
Where are you currently living?
The same place.
Where were you working in 2017?
I worked at Arco gas station, and at the end of 2017, I was working at Albertsons.
Where are you working now?
Same place, Albertsons.
Since 2017?
I'm sorry, 2018.
I ask those questions because they become relevant to your case.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You received all of these money orders?
Yes.
And did you total all the money orders, Miss Willoughby?
No, I did not.
Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you total all the money orders? That would make you a pretty stupid person. And you explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nicole King says Rebecca Willoughby owes for the return of money she paid for a car but never received.
According to your case, Miss King, you and the defendant made an arrangement to purchase her car. You made an arrangement to purchase her car over a period of time. You gave her a deposit, and according to you, the arrangement was that you would pay the balance. I think the agreed-upon price was something like $3,500.
Correct.
And according to you, you made most of those payments, all except for one.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the arrangement was that you were supposed to meet at a mechanic, check over the car, to have it smogged and everything, and then
Yes, Your
give
Honor.
her the final payment, whatever that was. What was the final payment?
Just short of $50.
Can I see proof of the payments?
Absolutely.
And you received all of these money orders?
Yes.
And did you total all the money orders, Miss Willoughby?
No, I did not.
Why not? I mean, why wouldn't you total all the money orders? That would make you a pretty stupid person.
I would have totaled them at the time, but to my knowledge right now, I don't remember.
Well, if you don't remember, then I'm going to rely on her memory and the receipts. How much in total did you pay her?
I paid her $3,451.
That was in 2017.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then you said you couldn't find her.
I couldn't.
Well, she's been living at the same address.
She has. However, I had hired a process server to find her. Nobody could find her.
For all intents and purposes, Miss Willoughby, the car was paid for. For all intents and pay attention to what I'm saying. For all intents and purposes, the car was paid for. I want to know, were you having a difficult... You kept her almost $3,500, which was the purchase price of the car. And I want you to explain to me so that I'm going to understand it. Why? And if you tell me the truth, we won't have a problem. If you say, boyfriend left, I had no money, whatever it was, you want to explain to me why this person, who was a stranger to you, paid you the money, kept her end of the bargain with the exception of $50, and you explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for. Go!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Don't tell me what I'm not going to believe. You see, she doesn't look like a nut and say, well, I paid $3,450. I'm not going to give her the other $50 and she's not going to give me the car. You want to tell me what happened with her money and the boyfriend and your need for cash.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Nicole King says Rebecca Willoughby owes for the return of money she paid for a car but never received.
You explain to me why you did not give her what she bargained for. Go!
The last payment made was August 2017 for $300. She was supposed to pay the last payment and never did. She refused to pay me. Yes, I was going to...
Just a second. Let's go. Have an answer.
The last payment was made August.
I heard you.
She never paid me.
I heard you.
There was still an amount due.
I heard you. $50. Go. She's paid you $34.50. Go.
I wasn't going to give her the car if she didn't pay me the remainder.
Well, then what did you say to her?
I told her, I asked her.
Show me. Where
the
you
last
said
payment?
Show me. No. Show me where you said to her, if you're not going to give me the last payment, because, you know, there are certain things that are logical. Do you understand?
Yes.
Logical is when you've paid practically every penny for a car that you agree to, you don't not get the car because of a $50 bill.
Of course.
You don't not get the car because of that unless something's happened to the car in the interim. Unless all the time she was giving you this money for the car, something happened to it, you spent it, the boyfriend took it, something happened to it. I want you to tell me, don't tell me what I'm not going to believe. You see, she doesn't look like a nut and say, well, I paid $3,450. I'm not going to give her the other $50 and she's not going to give me the car. That doesn't make sense. And if something doesn't make sense, Miss Willoughby, it's not true. You want to tell me what happened with her money and the boyfriend and your need for cash.
Exactly how much do those money orders add up to?
$34.50.
Do they?
Yes.
Because the last payment on the car...
Keep track. Let's go. You took the money or she gave it to you, and you and the boyfriend spent it. That's what happened over whatever period of time. 2 months, 3 months. Now you spent it, and then you had no car if you gave her the car. You want to continue? Tell me a story that I believe.
The car got repossessed January 2018.
All right. There you go.
But it was one payment left on it for $300.
When you sold her the car and it had clearly a lien on it, or you took out a title loan on it...
And she knew it had a lien on it.
Don't tell me what was in her head, okay?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
You sold her what kind of car?
A 2004 Toyota Solara.
And how much was the lien that was on it?
I don't recall at the time.
Just a second. Where did you think you were coming today? To the circus?
Definitely not.
Where did you think? You're not at a circus. So if you were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend, that's not her fault.
No, it's not.
No. And that's the bottom line. You were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend.
But that's also not my fault that she didn't pay the rest of the money.
I find that she fulfilled her end of the contract, and you prevented...
I don't care if it's $50. No, she didn't pay the rest of the money. I'm not going to give her a car that she didn't pay for.
Okay. When the car was repossessed, how much money was left owed on it, and who was the lender?
One payment and me.
Well, you weren't the lender. Who was the lender on the loan? You were the obligor. Who was the lender? What bank? What financial institution?
Easy Auto Shop.
And when had you purchased the car?
2016.
What month in 2016?
I don't recall, Your Honor.
You don't recall a lot. Okay. You were hard up for cash and you had a bum for a boyfriend. I don't know whether you're a bum too, but so far you owe her $3,441. We're done. Thank you.
Charges are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I told her the car wasn't paid off completely, so the amount that she gave me goes directly to the car.
I was not aware that she had a lien on the vehicle.
And as soon as it's paid off, she gets the car.
She was using the car for her disposal. She signed a contract.
Because in the agreement, it wasn't said that the car couldn't be driven.
She voided the contract. I feel like I won.
Because I didn't receive the full amount, so she didn't receive the car, and that's final.
You know, I don't really even want the vehicle. I just want the amount.
I said, it's a friendship.
How much money did she pay for tests for your dog?
She donated money for a test.
I did not donate. And a dog owner unleashes confusion.
I will get you the money.
That's not for my phone.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, here's what I do know.
No, just a second.
Can I show you a picture of the dog?
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Karen Gallagher is suing her former friend, Paula Von Trias, for an unpaid loan to pay a vet bill.
Order. All rise. It's case number 82 on the calendar, the matter of Gallagher versus Von Trias.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Ms. Gallagher, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for a loan that you made to her for tests for an elderly dog that she had.
Correct.
Unfortunately, the dog, despite the fact that it had the tests, passed away. And you want your money.
Yes, I do.
The defendant says it was never a loan, and because no good deed goes unpunished, the defendant is countersuing for $5,000 because she says that you harassed her and defamed her. Okay. What?
I filed a
you
police
had
report.
an old dog that needed tests.
No. My dog was 5 years old, 11 months. She got sick in June, where I took her to a vet and paid for all her expenses. I had her on a proactive, healthy plan, and
Did Miss Gallagher give you money for tests for your dog, or did she pay for tests for your dog?
She did not give me any money.
Listen to me carefully. Listen to my words. Did Miss Gallagher give you any money, or did she pay for tests for your dog? That was my question. That's either a yes or a no.
No.
So she did not pay for any tests for your dog.
She donated money for a test.
I did not donate.
Just don't answer her. Your dog, your tests. Now, how much money did she pay for tests for your dog?
I believe it was over $400 for 3 tests on the first occurrence.
She was a friend of yours?
She was a friend of mine.
Just a second. But she didn't live with you?
No.
So somehow she had to know that your dog needed tests because Karnak is no longer with us. Do you remember Karnak?
Johnny Carson.
Right. And she doesn't look like she has a crystal ball or a Ouija board, so that somebody had to tell her that your dog needed tests. That's either a yes or a no.
Yes, it is.
Who told her?
I told her.
In a conversation on the phone? On the phone or in person?
In person, I have a picture of it. Picture of her passed out in my house with my dog now at her feet, and that's when she learned about the test.
No, she doesn't learn. She doesn't learn. You told her that your dog needed tests. I want you to tell me about the conversation you had for the first time with a plaintiff about your dog's test and the fact that you didn't either have insurance or the money to pay for it. Go. What date?
On December 31st, I called Karen.
Good. That's a start. On December 31st, you called. Don't interrupt.
Okay.
On December 31st, you called Karen and said,
I have to figure out how to get Kenzie tested because the pre-arrangement that I made for her to be paid by my insurance that was paid fell apart.
So you called her and said, I have to figure out a way how to pay for Kenzie's tests.
That was it. And she said to me, Will they take credit cards over the phone? I said, I don't know. She said, well, call them and call me back. I go, okay. So I called. They said yes. I called Karen back. I said, yes, they do. She goes, give me the number. And that was it. That was it. And so a half hour later, I called down to the vet, and I said, did someone call about Kenzie at all? And she says, yeah, you're all set. Okay, thank you. That's what happened. There was no loan. I didn't have her credit card. She never gave me any money. There's no loan.
No, I'm not asking you whether she gave you money. I asked you at the beginning, did she either give you money or pay for tests for your dog? And the answer is yes. She paid for tests for my dog. And you say you picked up the phone and you called. Listen to me. Don't speak unless I'm talking to you. Okay. You called her up to ask her for money.
No, I did not.
Yeah, of course you did.
No.
Of course you did.
No, I did not.
Of course you did. You didn't call your butcher.
Excuse me,
you didn't call a grocer. You didn't call AT&T. You didn't call Geico. You called her. Listen to me. Listen to me. You called her and said, I don't know how I'm going to figure out how to pay for Kenzie's tests at the vet because because the insurance didn't. I understand. I get it. It's really a question of responsibility. It's your dog. You're a grown woman.
True.
You're a grown woman. You should be able to take care of your own dog.
And I did.
No, you didn't. She did.
No, she did not.
She did $481 worth.
I have a witness here that can explain things for you because it was a donation. May I also tell you what she said on the phone? On the phone, she said before I got off the phone with her, she said. Okay. On December 31st, I was in my house, she was in her house. That's the fact. The other issue, she said, this is my cause, this is what I do. I donate to dogs. I love Kenzie. That was part of the call that I had with her when I first told her I was baffled why the insurance didn't get handled. And when I know 2 days later after the test, the lady who was handling it committed suicide.
Did anybody else help contribute to your dog's health care?
I did. For everything. No.
Other than you?
No.
Other than you and the plaintiff, did anybody else contribute to your dog's health care?
No.
The answer is either yes or no.
No. And there were more bills. So after that test, the vet couldn't figure out why my dog...
Don't tell me what the vet couldn't figure out.
Okay,
I'm not interested in hearsay. I'm only interested in this. So what you're telling me is Miss Gallagher was the only person, other than you, who took care of your dog.
She didn't take care of my dog.
Well, she did. She took care of $481 worth of bills.
Minus $60 that I paid that was applied to that bill.
So what?
But there was more tests after that. That first vet told me my dog needed an ultrasound. So I had to go I called the pound to ask for referrals because I didn't get any. And I got 3 referrals. So I found another vet who works with the nonprofits. She's at a nonprofit. She works and she agreed to take my insurance. So everything after that with inflammatory bowel disease and very, very sick. And she was 5 years old and 11 months. And she was taken care of well by the second vet.
Ms. Ventris, it's just a question of whether you're going to pay for your own dog or she's going to pay for your own dog. Now, I'd like you to tell me your version of the conversation that you had with the defendant when you found out that her dog needed these tests.
It was the night of December the 30th. I actually went over to her house, and we were discussing it, and she started crying, and she's saying that she's broke and she can't afford it. She needed the test done the next day, the 31st. So it's on my credit card. I called the next day.
What I want to hear is the conversation that I believe.
I said, Paula, you know that I never, 2 things I don't do in life. I don't borrow money and I don't lend money. I said, no, it's really, this goes against my better judgment. I said, but I'll do it for your dog, not for you.
This is not true.
I don't want to hear you.
Okay. Just letting you know.
This is true. It's totally true.
Let's go back.
So I went home. I told her, I said, look, I said, if I do this.
If it goes against my better judgment.
To do this, because.
It goes against my better judgment.
I know that it creates difficulties and issues with people when money becomes between friends. So the next morning she called me. She goes, I'm going to bring Kenzie in. She goes, are you still going to do what you're going to do? And
That's
I said,
not true, sir.
It is
what part of I don't want to hear? You didn't understand it the first time or the second. I yelled at her the same way.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So the next morning she called and said, do you want to do what you said you would do? And I said, do what? And she said, and I said, pay for the test for Kenzie.
Do what you said you were going to do, and?
Meaning pay for Kenzie's test so I can take her into the vet.
And?
So I said, I'm on my way out the door. I said, how about if I just use my credit card over the phone? And she goes, oh, will they do that? I said, who wouldn't do that? And so I called the VCA and I paid it over the phone with my credit card. And then she called me back that afternoon and was all happy. It was December the 31st. We did see each other that night. The credit card charge hit my bill on January the 2nd because of the holiday. So she said she'd repay me, but she would back it up with the insurance check, which she was going to expedite. Now, I did research, and I know that pet insurance companies pay their claims within 10 days, 20 days tops. The dog died February 17th. I lent her the money on December 31st. She never made any attempt to pay me anything.
When for the first time did you ask her for the money?
I asked her several times over the phone, and then I have a couple of texts here.
I'd like to see the texts.
Okay.
Well, the dog died in February?
February 17th.
She says, you need to pay me back. And you said, I will when I get the money. Are you okay?
That's not from my phone.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, here's what I do know.
No, just a second.
Can I show you a picture of the dog?
I don't care to see the dog. I'm telling you, all of this is from your phone.
Can I share something here?
I'm just telling you
from Dave,
that on
I
January...
actually have text from her, too.
January... Well, show me.
I have text from her that's a...
Just all you...
I have many texts from her to explain the storyline. Thank you. Okay.
All I can tell you is you said to her when she said, you need to pay me back, and that was a month later, you said to her, I will when I get the money. Are you okay?
I have a phone, and I have texts, and that's not on my phone. I'm sorry.
It's on my phone.
But what I do know, in the beginning, there was no loan.
$481. That's who she owes you. Let us go to...
I actually have...
Let us go to...
Excuse me. I have witnesses here that they can prove it's a donation. This is Arlene. Could she speak?
You want to see the text? Do you want to see it before you testify? Do you want to see it?
I'd like to. But Judge Judy, could I ask a question?
No.
On the day Kenzie died, I was in her home, at her home afterwards, and she said to me, Paula, I love Kenzie. You don't have to pay me any money. It's a gift. It's a gift.
$481.
And she's a witness to it because she said it to her as well.
Let's move on.
I'm sure.
Listen, do you want me to hear any part of your counterclaim, or do you want me to just throw you out?
Can my witness speak because she came up for it, please?
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today...
I mean, there has to be a reason why somebody is moving out after they spend the time to move in, spend 2 days moving in, and in less than 15 days, she says, you're miserable. I'm moving out. Why do you think that she did that, Mr. Butcher?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Karen Gallagher says her former friend, Paula Von Triez, owes for a loan to pay a vet bill. Paula is countersuing for threats, harassment, and defamation of character.
What I'm telling you is on the 29th of January, you said, I will pay you back as soon as I get the money. That's what you said to her. Now, the dog may have died in February, and everybody's very emotional in February when the dog died. But in January, before the dog died, you said to her, I will pay you back when I get the money. That's what you said to her.
Oh, everything that she said about the insurance and getting paid, it's not true. Everything.
$481. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done.
Please? Judge Judy, I have evidence.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, it was absolutely correct. It was a loan to begin with, and I can't...
Witness here heard her say it was a donation.
I might have sent a text where it was out.
All the slander, harassment, and bullying that she did to me and the threat of my life.
You know, an empty threat just because I was so upset because she refused to pay me.
I should have trusted my first instinct, and she has a pretty good reputation in town.
That's what she does. That's her M.O.
Right.
She doesn't work. She just tries to, take money from people.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Christensen versus Butcher. Step forward.
23-year-old Brianne Christensen is suing her former landlord, Joel Butcher, for the return of her deposit and personal property, and for lost wages.
Miss Christensen, you rented a loft from Mr. Butcher. He lived in the apartment as well. You just rented a loft, sleeping loft. You had kitchen privileges, I assume? That would be a yes. And you rented this place and gave him a deposit, moved in the end of March?
Yeah, March 28th.
Now, when you moved in, you moved your clothes?
I moved most of my clothing. I wasn't able to hang it, though, because
I don't need a whole story. You moved in your clothes?
Yes.
You moved in your shoes?
Yes.
You moved in your toiletries?
Yes.
Did she move in with boxes?
Yes.
I'm looking at him now. So she didn't need furniture?
Correct.
Who lived there before?
The previous tenant was a
gentleman by the name of Avery.
And how long was Avery there?
Approximately 2 months.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Butcher?
I wait tables. I'm in the service industry in Park City, Utah, and then I also have a tree company that I run during the summer.
And she moved in all this stuff. Did she have a moving company or did she do it herself?
She did it herself.
And how long did it take her?
2 to 3 days. And I believe the actual date was March 26th.
But it took her 2 or 3 days to move in.
Correct.
Mr. Butcher, why do you think somebody takes a loft, spends 2 days moving, schlepping her stuff into that loft? Requires a ladder to get up there, right?
Correct.
So she's got to take clothes, books, whatever. Why do you think someone would move out after a month?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She paid you $1,200 when she moved in. Did you forget that?
It was first and last month's
Is there something wrong with your brain?
No, it was never deposited. It was first and last month's rent.
Mr. Butcher,
yes.
You've been spending too much time in Park City.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
23-year-old Brianne Christensen is suing her former landlord, Joel Butcher, for the return of her deposit, lost wages.
Why do you think someone would move out after a month if they were normal? She doesn't look abnormal. I say to myself, she wanted a place to live. She got a place to live. She gives you a deposit. She pays her rent, right? Why do you think she was so unhappy that she packed everything up, gave you notice that she was moving out? She didn't give you 30 days notice, but she told you before that she was moving out, and you actually found she moved out in May, right?
Correct, May 19th.
And she paid you prorated rent for the 19 days, correct?
No, not correct.
How much did she pay you?
It was
in May?
In May, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Did you pay him anything for May?
Yes, I paid him $368 for the prorated rent, and I paid him $38 for our half of utility.
Did you pay him check or cash?
I paid him with a money order.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yeah. Here's the money order for the month of May. And here's my deposit for April.
$368 she paid you pro rata for May. And you had somebody move in June what?
June 1st.
How much was her deposit?
There was no deposit.
How much was your deposit?
$600.
$1,200 when she moved in. $600 for rent and $600 deposit. Did you forget that?
It was first and last month's
rent. Is there something wrong with your brain?
No, it was never deposited. It was first and last month's rent, as it was stated in the ad. It was never a security deposit. There was no attachment, whether it be refunded.
Mr. Butcher.
Yes.
You've been spending too much time in Park City.
Maybe so. It's a nice place to spend some time.
It's a nice place. When you're 25, you've been spending a lot of time in Park City. Why did you move out after a month? You want to tell me? I don't care if she embarrasses you. She said that you had random people over there all the time. They left the door open all the time. That's why she moved out. I mean, there has to be a reason why somebody is moving out after they spend the time to move in, spend 2 days moving in, and in less than 15 days, she says, you're miserable. I'm moving out, and I'm going to pay you for the 19 days that it takes me to find someplace else to live, but I can't live here anymore. Why do you think that she did that, Mr. Butcher?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
How old are you?
46.
You have to give her deposit back. You knew you were moving. That would be a yes. You plan to explain to me why you didn't move with your, what you say, missing, your iPhone, your passport, your birth certificate, your social security card. What possible use does he have for your passport, your birth certificate, your social security card?
I was in such a hurry to move that I missed a few items, and they're still at his house. But when I came...
Do you have her passport, her social security card? Do you have that in your house?
I do not. She actually contacted my current roommate and made arrangements to retrieve those items.
I still have not been able to retrieve them.
Did you contact the new roommate?
I tried to, yes.
Did you speak to the new roommate?
Yes. She wasn't able to find them.
So he wasn't able to find them. He doesn't have them.
I still believe they're there because I moved in with those items. And when I moved out, I didn't have them.
Well, you have to keep more careful track of your items. You knew you were moving for at least 3 weeks. It would suggest to me that those things you would take, a passport, your social security card, and certainly your iPhone. Goodbye. $600. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done. Thank you.
Are you excused? You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I can't prove that anything was taken, and that's fine.
I definitely believe we entered into agreement first and last month's rent.
Behavior, coming home intoxicated.
I have a 100-pound Rottweiler. People aren't coming and going.
Dealing cocaine in his kitchen when I was cooking my food.
At my age, former firefighter, cocaine isn't my thing.
I'm just glad to be out of there.
I did go back to his house when he chose to get vulgar with me and aggressive.
How many times have you been arrested?
4 times, ma'am.
An online connection immediately crashes.
This is somebody that you know for 24 hours.
Yes, I felt comfortable with him at the time.
Evidently, you had bad judgment.
And his new connection hopes for a reboot.
He served jail time for domestic violence. What makes you think that you're going to be any different?
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
24-year-old April Krenke is suing her ex-boyfriend, Tyler Milligan, for the unpaid balance on a truck he forced her to co-sign for.
Order. All rise. It's case number 105 on the calendar, the matter of Krenke versus Milligan.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
This crime in February of this year, you met the defendant online. You met him online. He came. You had your first meeting in person on February 20th. You liked him. You lived with your 1-year-old daughter, and he stayed the night. You claim the next day he kidnapped you and forced you to co-sign for a truck that he wanted. And you did co-sign for the truck. According to you, while you didn't see him again, you kept in touch with him because you were hoping that he'd make the payments on the truck, and now you're stuck because your name is a co-signatory on a loan.
That is not entirely correct, Your Honor.
Well, then let's have it. Did you meet him on February 20th?
I met him on February 20th.
And he came to your house?
Yes, ma'am. He came to my house.
And he spent the night?
And he spent the night, yes.
And
then from there, we decided that I knew I'd have to bring him back to his house, so I'd bring him back to his house the next day, and I would stay the night because I had to work the following day.
So the next night, you were going to stay at his house?
Yes, ma'am.
With your daughter?
Yes.
Now, this is somebody that you know for 24 hours?
Yes, I felt comfortable with him at the time, and
evidently, you had bad judgment, and you took your year-old daughter with you.
I also have my witness here that was with me on the very first day when Tyler came to my house, and then she was also there the following night when I did go back to his house when he chose to get vulgar with me on him also as well. As far as like the vulgar and the aggressiveness.
Just a second. Can I see a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Milligan, how old are you, sir?
26, ma'am.
How many times have you been arrested?
4 times, ma'am.
Last time was when?
I was just released on June 8th of this year.
What was your conviction?
Restriction of a 911 call in domestic.
Domestic abuse?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of the 4 arrests were as a result of domestic abuse?
Just 2.
And you're 26 years old.
Yes,
was it
ma'am.
with the same woman or different women?
Different.
How long was the last time that you spent in jail?
39 days was the longest I've ever spent.
Did any judge ever direct you to anger management?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever have to pay a fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the plaintiff says that the witness who's sitting here to her right has a restraining order against you. Do you know who she is?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a hearing on that restraining order?
No, ma'am.
Have you been to court? Have you been to court?
No, ma'am, I have not.
So she got this restraining order on her own without you?
Yes.
Were you served with the restraining order?
Yes.
Do you have a return date for that restraining order?
No, ma'am.
Did you default in appearance on that? Well, when is the return date?
I have no idea.
Well, you were served with it.
Yes.
Mr. Mulligan, when you're served with a restraint given to you what they call ex parte, which means only the witness, whoever it is, goes in and asks for it, and you are entitled to have a hearing on it. They gives you a return date. You don't know what that return date is?
No, ma'am.
What's the return date?
It was 20 days after the fact of that he could have gone to court. Otherwise...
Did you get a default judgment?
Yep.
Did you go? Not yep.
I did not have to go to court. They just automatically signed the restraining order.
May I see it? Were you dating him?
At one point, him and I did date, yes.
Just a second. So this is when you were dating?
No, we were roommates. So
But you dated. You had an intimate, and now you're her roommate?
Nope, I don't live with her. Her and I are friends now. I
Okay,
live
sit
up
down.
with my boyfriend.
Sit down. Sit down. You filed this report about a week later.
He knew where I lived.
You filed this report about a week later, February 28th. You spoke to the police officer. Why didn't you want to pursue any charges against the defendant?
I was scared for my safety and my daughter's safety. He does know where I live, and I was afraid of the retaliation that
Did you make an application to any court for a protective order?
I did not at the time.
At any time?
Service.
What is it doing there?
Waiting to be fixed. The wheel bearing had went out previously, and also the brakes. Once I got served the paperwork, I still work in the process of working on it. I've got parts en route to fix it. After I got served with the paperwork, after reading what was served to me when I was incarcerated.
Why did you think that she co-signed for this vehicle for you?
So that way I could come back and forth to see her, also for work purposes also.
She knew you for 2 days. What is wrong with you?
Nothing, man. We were previously talking about it. So when she came down to the house, we set up a negotiation about it.
There's no negotiation. I don't understand you. Who was that?
That's my wife.
"26 years old, and he's had 2 protective orders in domestic violence cases and served jail time for domestic violence. What makes you think that you're going to be any different?"
I don't. I just trust him. I don't. I just trust him.
You trust him?
Yes.
You think all these people are crazy? You think all these women are crazy?
No.
How much was this truck?
Altogether, $9 grand. That's with tax, title, and April's.
Is the truck in your name?
Yes, ma'am.
Go get it. Get it.
I'm actually filing for the...
Go get it.
$5,000 amount.
I don't care what you're suing for.
Because I don't want the truck. It's broken.
I'm telling you, go get the truck.
It's broken.
I'm telling you, go get the truck. Telling you to go get the truck. I will prepare the order. Now you know where it is. She's going to get the truck. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you interfere with that, she's going to have a copy of this tape. You're going to get arrested again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And she can't say, well, they don't understand him, you know, and I trust him, because everybody trusts me. She's going to get the truck, and then she's going to sell it. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
If I may add, I do have receipts for 2 parts that I have bought previously.
I don't give a rat's behind what you have receipts for. She's going to get the truck, and she's going to sell it, and hopefully get a lot more than $5,000. It's her truck, and she's going to get it. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me the name of the place where it's currently sitting.
Porter Service.
Very good. We'll contact them and let them know that they're not to release it to you. Got it?
Yes. If I can get my belongings out of there, that would be great.
No, you can't go near the truck.
Also...
You can't go near the truck. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect.
Ma'am, what about like the towing fees, because the truck is broke down right currently now?
I don't deal in ifs. I'm giving you the truck back that was $9,000.
What about the damage?
You're suing him for $5,000. He just bought the truck in February. You're going to be able to sell it for more than $5,000. I would even invest a couple of bucks in fixing it if I were you, so you can sell it or keep it. Go get the truck. It's yours.
Okay. Yes, sir.
He's not going to touch it.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I have absolutely no feelings towards him. I have never had any feelings for him.
But just to go see each other so that way we can still date and stuff, but...
He is manipulative, vulgar, and just horrible of a person.
She wasn't looking for what I was, and so moved on to bigger and better things.
I feel bad for his new wife, to be completely honest. I am not jealous of her.
She was just looking for a hookup, and I went in marriage and settled down, and here we are.
By any means, I am just completely sorry for her and for her new man.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dilla versus Waldrop. Step forward.
Andrew Dilla and his son, 20-year-old Justin, are suing Justin's former friend, 20-year-old Michaela Waldrop, for vehicle expenses and the removal of Justin's name from a title.
Mr. Dilla, you're his father.
Yes.
And who do you work for?
Chipotle.
You've been working there for a while?
Yeah, a little over a year.
What do you do?
I'm a kitchen manager.
You have a salary check.
No, it's by the hour.
But you get paid?
Yeah.
Yes. That'd be yes. And what do you do?
I just got recently hired as a cashier.
And before that, what did you do?
I was a cashier at Chipotle.
That's how you met each other. And you dated for a while. Terrific. And you wanted a car.
Yes.
And you had saved up for a down payment.
Yes.
How much?
$2,600 in total.
How much did you put down on the car?
$2,600 in total.
Instead of buying, a car for $2,600, you wanted a new car, newish car, and you couldn't get any credit.
Yes.
So this 20-year-old, because he didn't work for the same place, some bank said, okay, if you co-sign for her, now I've got 2 people on the hook. We'll give her the loan.
Yes.
And the car is in whose name?
It's in both of our names.
And you were dating at the time?
Yes.
Can I see the title?
Your Honor?
What?
The title's not available because it's still being financed.
I want to see the title to the car. Somebody should have a title that says lien on it.
So we have the refinance papers.
I just need a title that says lien on it.
This is the original title from Exeter Finance.
All right, so nobody has a title. How much is left on the loan?
$10,285 last time I checked.
And who has the car? You do.
I do.
Great. And neither of you were going to be let off this loan because that would be stupid of the loan company because now they have 2 people to go against, right?
Right.
And you have the car. What do you want me to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You were the dumb one who let to the friends who got pulled over and the car was impounded because they found drug paraphernalia in the car. Does anybody have a police report for me to look at? I'd like to take a look at it. Put your hand down.
Oh, sorry.
Put your hand down. Listen, you can't help it if you raise stupid.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Justin Dilla says former friend Michaela Waldrop owes for damage and impound fees for a car he co-signed for.
Bottom line was you had the car, you broke up. According to him, you lent the car to somebody.
Yes.
And that was a friend of yours, and they got pulled over for some sort of drug infraction. And the police went through the car, took it all apart looking for drugs. What's the name of the genius who you lent the car to?
The friend is Izzy, and actually, the car was reported stolen.
Well, if it was reported stolen, they wouldn't have torn it apart looking for drugs.
Warings, no.
Not to your knowledge?
Yes.
Not that you are aware of?
Yes.
Right. On what date was the car loaned to your friend?
February 12th.
And you had had the car for about a month at that
Yes.
time. And you had already broken up with him.
No, we were still together up until February.
Well, February 12th, when you loaned the car to the friend.
Yes.
What was the friend supposed to do with the car?
He was going to go get food and run to his house. I had constant location of him because I had an update.
He was supposed to go get food?
Yes.
All right. And who was he with?
He was with his friend.
He was
who
with
actually
another...
I knew him too.
He was with another friend. And on February 12th, were you and Mr. Dallas still a couple?
No.
When had you broken up?
Yes.
When had you broken up?
Sorry. Around February 2nd.
Who went to get the car from impound? Does anybody have a police report for me to look at? I'd like to take a look at it. Put your hand down.
Oh, sorry.
Put your hand down.
Okay.
Listen, you can't help it if you raise stupid.
I have the receipts right here from the getting it out of impound.
I want to see a police report.
Oh, we weren't able to get a police report unless we had a subpoena for it.
Let me see the date of impound. You picked up the car from impound?
Correct.
And you have the car?
Correct.
And you're paying for the car?
Correct.
Actually, I paid for April.
Who cares? You were the car was impounded because they found drug paraphernalia in the car. So I don't care if you paid April. What do you want?
If I were
You
to...
got stuck. You got stuck.
Yeah.
With paying for the car. Are you driving it?
No, I'm not.
Is it insured?
It's the registration...
Is it insured?
No, it's
now?
not.
Well, you know you have to have it insured by the loan company.
Okay.
Just what do you mean, okay? Is the car insured?
The car is not insured, never was insured, and the defendant did not insure the car when she took it off the lot.
Listen, that's stupid's fault.
Right. Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When you loaned the car to these 2 idiots,
yes,
did it have damage on it?
Yeah.
Did it have damage on it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Justin Dilla says former friend Michaela Waldrop owes for damage and impound fees for a car he co-signed for.
Is the car insured?
car is not insured, never was insured, and the defendant did not insure the car when she took it off the lot.
Listen, that's stupid's fault.
Right. We were trying to sell the car. We wanted to get monies to be able to pay off the loan and fix the damage that are currently on the car. The car has currently damages on it worth about $5,000.
I'd like to see the damage. Now, unless you can explain to me how the car got damaged.
I was aware.
The two of you broke up in February.
Yes.
On February 12th, you loaned the car to two people, and on February 14th, the plaintiff got the car out of impound by the police.
Yes.
Now, when you loaned the car to these two idiots,
yes,
did it have damage on it?
Yeah.
Did it have damage on it?
Yes.
What kind of damage did it have on it?
The mirror was missing, and the back tail light was broken.
How did that happen?
Honestly, I don't know, because woke up one morning, went out to my driveway, and saw it was like that. I thought someone came and actually...
Shh. On what date did you find the mirror broken and the taillight damaged?
January 26th.
So on January the 26th, according to you, you and the plaintiff was still a couple because you said you were still a couple in February. That's what you told me. Your possession, it had a missing mirror and a broken taillight.
Yes.
But it didn't have all this other damage.
Not that I know.
Not when you loaned it to your two friends.
Yeah.
So it didn't have all this damage.
No.
Is this the way you retrieved the car from impound?
Yes. And...
Who was there with you when you took it out of impound?
My dad.
You were there?
Yes.
When the car came out of impound?
Yes.
When did you take that video?
That day.
And that's the way it looked?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Have you been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Do you have an estimate on how much it will cost to fix that car?
I was given a...
No, the answer is either yes or no.
Verbal, so...
Well, you can't tell me what somebody else told you.
Then no.
Well, I need an estimate because she's responsible for that. You know, she's an idiot and she's not going to pay for this car and she's not going to get it back because she's totally irresponsible. But the two of you were on the title to the car.
Correct.
The car was damaged. If you have to sell it, which you clearly do, you have to sell it, and in order to sell it, it has to be repaired. And if I don't have an estimate, I'm going to have to back this up. The book value of a 2015 Mazda 3 Sport.
$10,056.
Well, most of the loan is remaining, and what you're asking for actually is $3,259, which I assume is the money that you have so far invested in the car, making the payments so that it wouldn't be repossessed. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, that's certainly far less than what you can get if you sold it. And based upon that, you couldn't get anywhere near $10,000 if you had to sell the car this way. You have a counterclaim.
Yes, I do.
It's dismissed. If you can't afford a car, don't buy it.
Actually, I was not allowed to make the first car payment.
If you can't afford a car, don't buy it.
Oh, I was able to afford it.
No, you couldn't afford it because the credit score that you had was insufficient for a $10,000 loan. So you couldn't. And then once you had it, and since you really weren't on the hook for it yourself and you had no job, because at the time you lost your job, you were in between jobs.
Yes.
Yes. And you lent it to some people who were probably using it to sell, transport, do whatever they were doing with drugs. In any event, there was paraphernalia found in the car. $3,200. Judgment for the plaintiff. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done here. By the way, we're withholding your money until you sign.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I didn't directly report it stolen. All I said is I did not give anyone permission.
Because my friend let Justin know he was driving the car.
To drive the car because I was unknowing of what she had done with the car.
And Justin did not like that friend very well, so he reported it stolen.
She got fired for no-call, no-shows.
And I need it, and it's been hard without one. I've lost many opportunities.
Due to her letting them use the car.
I get my car back, and they accept my refinancing.
I was young and dumb. Don't co-sign for a significant other.
And I could do it today. If not, then Car's yours.
Buy your own car if you can afford it.
Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
Two boys caught in a fib.
Whatever it is, it's not a big deal that it happened. It's just a big deal if you lie about it.
But who will fess up first?
His grandma said, you better tell the truth.
He threw the rock.
Well, he said he didn't.
I'm just telling you he did.
You seen him throw it?
I don't have to see him throw it. That's my job. That's what I do for 50 years.
Judge Judy.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheindlin. This is Judge Judy.
Suing her neighbor, Keena Payton, for damage caused to her vehicle when her son threw a rock at it.
Order. All rise. It's case number 69 on the calendar, the matter of Corso versus Payton.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Everybody have a seat.
Ms. Corso, it is your claim that the defendant's little boy, that's this little boy over here, damaged your car by throwing a rock.
Yes.
And you didn't see that?
No, I did not.
So I assume that the little boy who's sitting here, who also lives in your neighborhood.
Next door.
He came and told you that it had happened.
Actually, no one came and told me. I heard it, but my husband was ill, so I didn't go out. But I did go.
I don't care.
I did go 2 days later, and we talked to Jake.
I don't need a whole story. Here, you didn't see anything happen to your car.
No.
There was a dent or something in your car.
Yes.
Did you notice it the same day?
No, I did not.
When you noticed something, it was at that time that you spoke to this young man.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this young man, and I will get to him in a second, told you that he saw the defendant's son throw a rock, that tried to fix it.
Yes.
And he tried to fix it to make it better.
Yes.
And maybe it made it better, and maybe it didn't make it better. Mrs. Payton says her son never threw a rock at your car. The incident happened on what, well, why don't you step up here? You're Jake?
Yes.
You live next door?
Yes.
On what date did you allegedly see Mrs. Payton's son throw a rock at Miss Corso's car?
Sunday.
It was on a Sunday?
Yes.
And did you look?
It was a Thursday.
Thursday.
I don't want you to say anything to him. You're not the witness. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's my job to test his memory.
Okay.
You don't have to help him. It was on what time?
I don't remember.
Do you remember what month it was in?
No.
Do you remember what time of the day it was?
No.
Was it in the morning? Was it in the evening? Was it daytime or was it nighttime?
It was in the middle between daytime and nighttime.
What's that?
Evening.
How old are you?
12.
Well, a 12-year-old knows time. You know whether it's dark out or light out or dusk, where it's in between, where it's almost dark. What time was it?
Evening.
Where were you?
We were all in front of my yard.
Who was in front of your yard?
Me, Kyle, and this other girl named Jordan.
And the three of you have been playing for how long?
Not much.
What were you playing?
So this is where I saw the girl.
Don't look over there. Look here.
The girl wrote Kyle's girlfriend on the rock.
Over here.
So on the rock, it said Kyle plus Madison, which I supposedly was his girlfriend. And he got mad, picked up the rock and threw it and hit her car in the rear.
He got mad because he wasn't the boyfriend?
I have no clue why he got mad.
Okay. And who wrote on the rock?
This girl, Jordan.
And was the rock that she wrote with the rock that he picked up, or was it a different rock?
It's the rock that she wrote with.
What did you say to him?
I didn't say anything to him.
Now, he threw the rock, and what happened when he threw the rock? Did you hear something, or did you see something?
It was a loud, I heard and saw, it was a loud bang, and there's like a big dent in the back.
In the back where?
Near the rear.
So what did you do?
We all ran.
Why did you run?
Because it made a loud bang.
Well, if it made a loud bang, and you all ran, but you first stopped to look at the car.
We ran first, and then we came back to look at the car.
So first you ran?
Yeah.
And where did you run to?
Jordan's house.
And when did you come back?
5 or 10 minutes later.
And did you come back with anybody, or did you come back by yourself?
I came back by myself.
And when you came back by yourself, now, you didn't do anything.
Yes.
You ran away.
Yes.
Then you came back.
Yes.
You looked at the car.
Yes.
You saw a dent.
Yes.
And when you went inside to your house?
Yeah, I had to go inside.
Because?
Because my uncle saw the big dent in the back, so he called me in to go inside.
Do you live with your uncle?
No, he's visiting.
Who else was in the house?
Just my uncle.
Did you tell your uncle what happened?
Yes.
Right away?
Yes.
The same day?
Yeah.
Who else lives in the house with you?
My grandma and my brother and my sister.
Was your grandma out?
Yeah, she was at work.
When she came home, did you tell her what happened?
Yes.
Did you tell her?
Yes.
The same day?
Yes.
And you live right next door?
Yes.
How many days later did you find out about this?
2 days.
2 days. And how did you find out about it 2 days later?
I was going out to take my husband back to the doctor.
You were going out?
I went out and to get in the driver's side and looked back and saw the big dent.
And then what did you do?
We went next door and asked Jake.
Just a second. Then you went next door. Was he inside his house or outside of his house?
He was inside.
So you knocked at the door?
Yes.
And who came to the door?
Jake and his grandmother.
And I'd like you to tell me the conversation that you had.
I told Jake, I said, we just found a big dent in our car. Do you tell the truth? And his
grandmother said,
you better tell the truth.
And?
So Jake said...
He told you this story?
He came on and told us that story.
He told you this story. Did his grandmother say she already knew?
No, she didn't. She didn't say
she didn't?
one way or the other, no.
Well, but according to Jake, she already knew.
Later on...
According to Jake, she already knew.
She did.
She knew 2 days in advance. So she knew 2 days in advance because, according to Jake, he had told her, why wouldn't she come over and tell you?
She explained that she knew we would be coming and knocking on her door any minute, and that as soon as we came knocking, he would tell us
that was
what
honest. Happened. That was honest. Not. Go down. First name?
Kyle.
You remember that day?
Yes.
Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
Well, there were only 3 of you there. You're a pretty smart kid. And according to him, all 3 of you sort of ran away after it was thrown. So let's don't look down here. Let's still look here. And let me try to explain to you. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal that it happened.
Yes.
Great. Who threw the rock?
I don't know.
Well, that I don't believe. How are you going to convince me that that's true? It's your job to convince me that that's true that you don't know, because I don't believe you. Okay, go down. He threw the rock.
Well, he said he didn't.
I'm just telling you he did.
You seen him throw it?
I don't have to see him throw it. That's my job. That's what I do for 50 years.
Okay.
I just looked in his eyes, and I'm telling you he threw the rock. It's not a big deal. Okay. It's not a big deal. Kids do that all the time. The big deal is for him not to tell the truth about it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I don't necessarily believe him either.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Because I'm not so sure that what happened is he tried to fix it.
Right.
He touched it before he showed you. That's what he told you. Is that right?
Yes.
And I don't know whether his touching it made it better or made it worse. Who knows? Do you know?
I wasn't there, no.
By the way, stand up over there. What did you use to try to fix it?
My hand.
Tell me how you did that.
I put my hand into the car and tried to
banged it?
No, I tried to push it out.
And did you?
A little bit.
Sit down. I think you've sustained your burden of proof to me, which is even by a preponderance of the evidence that Miss Payton is responsible for your car. You got a ding in your car?
Yes.
You got a ding in your car? It happens. But I'm not satisfied that I can feel comfortable making Miss Payton pay for it. I don't know how much of the dent was caused by a 12-year-old trying to fix it. 12-year-old trying to fix it, telling his grandmother the same day that it happened, and his grandmother didn't come to you, but her answer to you was, I knew you'd be knocking at my door. How long has she been your neighbor?
Probably 20 years.
Not a good lesson. We're done. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, it was honest and fair.
My son said he didn't do it. I believe he didn't do it.
We tried to talk to him, but they wouldn't even give me their name, so.
It could have been settled, but because of the way she went about it, it was just overbearing.
Just be honest and take responsibility, and that's all we can hope for.
Kids will be kids.
And now, the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vardekas versus Adams, step forward, please.
25-year-old construction worker Joshua Vardekas is suing his former employer, Wade Adams, for unpaid wages.
Mr. Vardakis, it is your claim that the defendant, who I gather is a general contractor,
yes, ma'am,
owes you for some painting work that you did for him. It appears house painting.
Correct.
For him before, at least twice before, and
yes,
you
ma'am.
paid him, and it was satisfactory. This was the third job, and the third job was for also a two-story structure. Is that correct?
It was a two-story structure, but he was only entitled to...
It was a two-story
yes,
structure. And when was he supposed to start the job?
April 3rd.
And did he report to work on April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he work for the day on April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was he supposed to be paid per day?
$300 total for the job.
And how many days were you supposed to work on the job, sir?
I worked a total of 2. Started April 1st and April 3rd.
You worked on this job on April 1st?
Correct.
For how many hours?
8 hours that day. It was a full day.
And then on the 3rd?
On the 3rd was a half day. I spent about 4 hours there.
I don't like abouts.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He asks you for some money. You don't say to him, I don't owe you any money. You say to him, she's making me wait for my money because I have to get some glass fixed. Why didn't you pay him any money?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Construction worker Joshua Vardakis says his former employer, Wade Adams, didn't pay him for a painting job. Wade is countersuing for online defamation.
Now, what
I work now.
Were you supposed to work?
No, it was just April 3rd was the day that I came in. That's when I was available to be able to come in and finish the job.
That doesn't sound reasonable to me. I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense. You usually start a job and you finish it.
I'm responsible for a lot of other projects that goes on around Northeast Ohio.
Mr. Vardakis, in the arrangement that you made with Mr. Adams, when were you supposed to start the job?
The 1st.
And when you were supposed to finish it?
Whenever it got done.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you went into work and that you only worked half a day? Did you finish the job?
No, I had to come back the 4th and finish.
Did you come
completely.
back the 4th?
Yes. That was the last 4 hours I spent there.
When you left the job on the 4th, was the job that you were hired to do completed?
Absolutely.
Do you have any proof that it was completed and that Mr. Adams knew it was completed? That he acknowledged that it was completed?
Not in the evidence, not directly, but I do have images. Me sending him the job. After a few days, we talked on the phone. Job was good. Everything was okay.
I'd like to see that.
I have the images of the job. This is me sending the photos of the job being done. This might be more than you really need.
Please don't give me more than I need.
Here, just this one. This is me sending pictures. That's some of the pictures out of all the pictures that I sent.
Is your name Steve?
Steve was not able to make it today, ma'am.
Well, I don't need Rusty if Steve wasn't here. Sit. Why didn't you pay him for his work?
It was not completed, ma'am.
How much did you pay him?
I didn't pay him nothing.
How much were you supposed to pay him?
$300.
You have photographs of what was not completed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. Now, that's what you were supposed to get, correct?
No, I was supposed to get $600. That's what the job paid.
Oh.
Yeah. And
just 1 second. Did you paint both floors, upstairs and down?
Not the upstairs, the basement. I painted the basement and the first floor. I lost the copy of that photo of the basement, but I do have it in my phone.
I'd like to see it. When did you first, also, while you're looking for that, when did you first make a demand for your money?
I gave him till the day that he said that he was able to pay me. I questioned him on it, like, hey, you know, what's going on? I didn't hear.
Do you have that in text messages?
Oh, yes.
Let me take a look.
Okay, this is where he started making his excuses on
May
why...
I please see, and now get me the picture that you were looking for.
Oh, yes. Here it is. And if you left swipe twice.
Why didn't you pay him?
Because it was not done.
Just a second. You talked to him on April 12th, and you don't say to him on April 12th, you didn't finish the job. What you're saying on April 12th is, man, I assume the owner is making me wait, so I wish I had the money, but I'll get it to you, but I have to put windows in. That doesn't say you didn't finish the job.
I have a text message here I sent him, and he replied saying the basement door needed hit again, the trim needed, in the dining room needed hit, caulked around the top, and the basement re-hit again. That was on April 4th. So I had to hire somebody else to come and finish the job.
What I'm asking you is, on April 12th, he asks you for some money. You don't say to him, I don't owe you any money. You say to him, she's making me wait for my money because I have to get some glass fixed. I'll have to go through them on Monday. Okay, well, can I get paid something? I really need the money. That's on April 12th. Why didn't you pay him any money?
Because I don't pay none of the employees until the job's done, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Your counterclaim is for defamation. What did he say about you that you think is law-worthy?
Saying I lie, I'm a thief.
You are a liar, a cheat, and a thief. You didn't pay him for his job. He's allowed to say that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Construction worker Joshua Vardakas says his former employer, Wade Adams, is countersuing for online defamation.
Now, what's the name of the person that you were doing this painting for?
Renee, but she works for Fame City. It's a real estate company.
So you were doing a job for the real estate company?
Yes, ma'am.
How much did you charge them for the paint job in the house?
So the total job was $1,800.
What else did you do there?
We had to get it rent ready. We had to replace windows, replace some bathroom stuff, paint the upstairs, fix the front porch.
I'd like to see your invoice for that for $1,800, including painting.
Okay,
I'd like to see.
Here's the picture of the invoice. Here's the rough estimate she signed.
I'd like to see that, Bert.
That's just labor. She buys the materials. Here's the invoice. This third job working with him started off on the bad foot, Your Honor. The first day with him and the other painter had a little scuffle.
I don't care. You have to pay him. You can't not pay the man.
I
you
agree.
can't not pay the man.
But it was not complete. I had to have somebody else come and finish it.
The somebody else is Steve, who's not here.
Great. He had ID issues.
Well, that's your problem. That isn't my problem. You have to pay him. And if you didn't pay him, you can have a legitimate dispute with him, which I'm more than prepared to look at if you have a dialogue in writing with him. You didn't complete the job, so I'm prepared to pay you for the work that you did, but I'm not paying you whether it's $300 or $600, $300 if he worked there 3 days.
No.
Or you actually worked there 2 days.
A total, yeah,
You worked
16
a total
hours,
of 2
man
days.
hours.
My painters, I pay $150 a day, Your Honor. If he gets it done sooner, he still gets the $300. If not, 2 days, he'll still get the $300.
What was the other job that he did for you?
He painted in Worcester.
When?
Back in March.
How much were you paid for that job, sir?
That job, $250.
And what did that entail?
Painting a kitchen and a living room, just the walls.
I don't care.
Sorry.
If you got paid $250 in March, you're not getting paid $600 2 months later. Then I believe him that he pays his painters $150 a day. You had to pay him something. So it's inexcusable that you didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Are you the victim of a scam? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Now,
we talked. I planned on. His wife was texting me, my wife. I was going to give him another chance. We have a bunch of other jobs. And I said, and he should have the text messages, so I'm trying to find mine.
I got it already.
I admitted I would pay him. The check, I said the check would be here between Wednesday and Friday. So we talked on the phone.
Why didn't you just do that? Then you should have done that. And now, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for defamation. What did he say about you for not paying him?
Oh, he's put on.
Just read me what he said. Did he say employees?
He was just saying all kinds of. He's called, got on our youth football page. I'm the director of youth football. Started bashing us on youth football. Yeah, for 8, 9, 10-year-olds.
I don't understand what you're saying.
8, 9, 10-year-olds have nothing to do with it. He's just bashing us.
You have to, listen to me. Look at me. I'm old. You have to speak slowly and clearly. What did he say about you that you think is law-worthy?
Saying I lie, I'm a thief, I'm a cheat.
Well, you are a liar, a cheat, and a thief. You didn't pay him for his job. He's allowed to say that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. Your counterclaim's dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
He didn't finish the job. Had to hire another painter to come and do it.
At least I got some money out of the deal.
Him and my 2 painters got in a pushing and scuffling match.
Never got physical. We got into it, and it wasn't even on the job that he was talking about.
He got on Facebook sites, saying I'm a liar, a thief, a cheat.
I went after it.
I don't do this and do that. Paying my employees, I treat them bad.
Nobody